Hello, everyone. How we doing today? Thursday. I'm a little pumped up today because tomorrow is actually a holiday and I do not have to go to work. So isn't that awesome? I'm psyched. If you don't know me, my name is from Coffee Talk and Tech, John Ryan. Glad to meet you if it's your first time stepping in here. Hopefully we have some new people coming in. That would be wonderful. And in a little bit, I'm going to bring in my co-host, J.A. Smith. And we're going to just talk about a little bit of tech and just have some fun, discuss what we've been up to lately, what we're working on. And if you guys didn't know, I changed my branding. So if you look at my page and you see the top of my page, I do have some new branding. And what's really cool is I would love to show you is I actually got some t-shirts and everything made up. And I wanted to just show you guys a little bit of what I'm doing. So this is my new spreadsheet. My spread shop, I should say. And here are some of my designs right here with the Coffee Talk and Tech. And we have all kinds of different things in here. You know, hoodies, sweatshirts, we have men's stuff, we have women's stuff. And I'm really proud. That's not women's, by the way. And I'm really proud of it. So I'm kind of psyched and things are really cool like that. And I don't know. I just figured I'd tell you guys since I'm kind of pumped up about it. So let's go see what J.A. Smith is doing and bring him in and see how he's doing. Let's go check him out. I don't know if he's falling asleep. I think he's fell asleep back there. I was like, wake up. I thought you were checking out the lights up in the ceiling or something.
I do have lights up there. Oh my God.
Whoa.
I was checking out the dust. You know what I'm saying?
You were. So
let me put my other earbud in. What happened here? It's like not even
out your ear?
Like I didn't put my pants on or something.
Oh God.
There we go. Now I got pants on.
Oh man.
It takes a village to raise me.
I'm psyched. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm really pumped up about that. I get to have a day off. Right? I get to chill out.
It's Juneteenth.
Yeah. So that's a new holiday for me.
Yeah. Awesome.
And my union made an agreement on it, and we actually have off. So that's great news.
Yeah.
And so I'm really psyched about my branding. And there are a few people out here that bought my t-shirts, that bought my coffee mugs, and I'm really psyched about that. One of them is Jeff here. And I want to thank again my friend Chris McCormick. He comes in here now and then, and I'm really pumped up. He did a great job for my branding. And I want to thank the people out there too that came in and bought a couple things. So that's been really surprising and really awesome. And also, a couple people bought me a coffee lately, and I'm really happy about that because I just I couldn't get enough coffee today.
I did the same thing. I don't know what happened. When you told me that link was up for the coffee mugs, a lot of times you do these things because you're like, oh, I got to go buy my nephew's, whatever cookies.
Right.
And you're kind of grudging. I didn't grudgingly. I was excited, and then I saw the 2 mugs. I couldn't just tell my wife, I can't decide. There's because
Yeah,
the logos are so good. I'm like,
I'm
I got
so
both.
happy with
We're
them.
coffee drinkers, so I bought both. I'm like, and I was a little upset because I was hoping they'd be here for tonight, but
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to be here on Tuesday, which is my stream. So I'm looking because right now,
And my
I've got.
shirts are coming too, so I can't
Well, I'm
wait.
excited. I gotta, dude, I gotta buy a camera. So it's not, we gotta calm down on your product. I can't be.
Yeah, you can't buy everything
I
for
can't
me.
buy
I know.
everything. However, it would be kind of funny if I started.
Be nice
buying
if you
it
did, though.
And they just start leading, the
Wait,
guilt starts going in.
let's see who's here because I'm excited because we were
I had
talking
things to
about
say.
this guy just, I think, last
I
week,
know.
right?
We were, yeah.
Yeah. So
How you doing,
we're
Mike?
awesome to see you in here, Mike. And we were asking about you. I said because Jeff and I were talking and wonder how you're doing, what's going on with your channel, what new updates you have to let us know how things are going. We are interested. We always want to know what's going on with you. And we miss talking to you. So we got to get together and chat it up. And Robert's in here, and he's one of these guys. He sends me a message early in the day and says, "Listen, I got to run around if I jump into your stream." And I tell him, "Listen, Robert, I'm so appreciative. Whoever shows up, I mean, it's fantastic." I said, "You don't have to tell me what your life entails. He's very busy. I understand that. But it's amazing that anyone would just say, 'Hey, I'm really busy and I won't be able to be there.'"
I don't know,
as
man.
much.
I started a Google spreadsheet, so I want all the excuses. I shared it with everybody here. So I want any of the excuses when you leave and come back. I want you to put it in the Google spreadsheet. No messing around. I don't want you to deleting things in there. Okay. Just put your excuse and leave.
I love it though. I mean, that just shows how much he cares. And here's Samantha stopping in. Hi guys, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in, checking us out. And guess who's here? Look at this. Can I just leave the smile up?
I know.
Just leave it up. Blank me out and put him in with the smile.
Oh, if
and
I
I'll
could,
have 30 people watching.
If I could put Zan on the left side here, then it would tickle me.
That would be awesome.
Move that along a little bit. Get your mug off of my monitor. I'd be okay with that.
And we got my wife stopping in, of course, always, right? She's always checking up to see if there's anything that I say that she can hammer me on.
How many years ago did she chip you?
Chip me?
Yeah, embedded.
What does that mean?
You don't know that? You can chip people so you can scan them and know where they are all the time.
Oh, chip me. I was like, what does that mean? Is that eat a potato chip off me or something? I don't know. I'm always thinking food, so.
That really hurt my brain. You went to a direction I didn't expect, but
listen,
not that, but thank you for that. That was awesome.
Well, I just wanted you to know. And so, so we are busy. The school year is ending. So my wife's a teacher, so she'll have off for the summer, and my son. And this is the first, I think, summer that my wife's had off in years because she maxed out with her schooling. She's got a master's plus 45 credits. So she really did a tons of work the last few years.
Oh my God.
She's got
that. She's got that ability. She's got thinking going on.
She's hustled to get this done. That's for sure. So she's always working on it. And so we got Derp in the house too. And he's saying hi. And
you realize that's me that wrote that, right?
Oh, that was you, Derp and Zan. Oh, sorry. I just had a bunch of coffee and I'm like my eyes are
okay. Just for chat. Apparently, when John drinks coffee, his ability to read is diminished. Just so
I'm
we
not
know.
Supposed to drink coffee at 8:30 at night.
Well, you don't have to get up in the morning, so you're fine.
Yeah, I got the new shirt on too.
I love it. The Vandalay. Tell him Vandalay Industries.
Vandalay Industries, as he's pulling up his pants, right, falling on the ground. So I got Zan the man here. He's wasting no time. Says, John, your thoughts? Jeff's, your thoughts?
I love it. I love
on the Sony ZV-1 camera.
Well, we do have something to say about it.
I have a little something to say about it because I have it. And I could tell you a lot of things. I could tell you that it's on sale at Best Buy this week for $100 off. So I think that's maybe why he's asking. So if that's true, let me know. If anybody else has this camera.
I'm sorry. Should we ask Zan, what is his primary use for it's going to be? I'm just curious. Is this going to be your A camera? Is it strictly for vlogging? Or maybe a hybrid. I'm just curious.
Right. That's what we want to know off the bat. What do you want to use it for? Is it your first camera that you're going to use for YouTube, your main camera? Enter that first and see if anybody else has that too, if they're using that camera. And let me know what you think about it. And I'll give you my input and rundown in just a sec. We got John Pullum here just tuning in. You didn't miss anything. We really didn't get much. We've been saying hi to people and
we were waiting on
on.
you. And by the way, John bought my first coffee last week. You know,
Nice.
I didn't, look, I don't expect anybody to buy coffee from me. I haven't really done much, but it was nice that he did. It was such great energy, and it really made my day. So I really appreciate that. I don't want that to be lost out. Oh,
It does. It kind of like is exciting, right? When you get that little email.
It's that little thing. I'm going to make sure I pass that along to other people because it made me feel good.
So Mike says his team is out, but does that mean that you're going to keep on going though? Like right now with practicing things and organizing things, updates? Because I really just want to know, because you just got to make sure you let us know what you're doing. That's all I'm saying, because we want to be involved and we want to be there for you. And we're always interested in what you're doing. So just let us know too.
I'm sorry to hear that, because, as a sports guy myself, sports is such a tough thing to put your equity into, you know what I mean? As far as the return on it, and Mike goes in on it. And I love that he does. And I know that's hard. I know it's hard to kind of let,
okay. Now I feel better, by the way.
Well, you're getting to the,
I said hi to you and you weren't even here, Derp. I just want to let you know.
He was here.
Oh, he was
here. He said, I was there before we went on, and I saw Derp and I said hi, and then you grabbed that. But it's okay to like look at who's actually writing before you put it up there. It's fine. You can do that.
I should do that. I should start doing that.
No, I like that. I like the John and stuff.
So I could easily just skip over this chat, but I mean, I can't ignore it anymore. So I better just go. I bought my own end of the year teacher's gift today. At least she did something.
And the crowd goes crazy.
I don't know.
So, John,
she did pull in the driveway with a new Lexus today. I thought she was just getting her car fixed.
Is that the gift she gave?
Is that her? I think it might be.
You guys should communicate a little bit, maybe, on the Alexis potential buys.
Well, it's her money, so she can do what she wants.
It may be her money, but if she's bought herself a Lexus today, we need to be better friends. So
I'm gonna go buy myself a Lexus tomorrow. Then that's it.
I think you have a Lexus in your studio. You're fine.
No, this is all. I bought this stuff at the consignment shop.
Oh, you act like you went to the pawn shop and worked out a deal with Zed. No, you're fine. No.
I almost texted you today. I could have got an NT1 mic for $150. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you going to get it from me?
I was just going to I told the guy I was going to buy it no matter what. And I was late to the show because I saw when it went for sale 2 weeks ago, and I could have shot him something then. And I didn't because like, really, why do I need it? And then all of a sudden he dropped it a little bit and everybody was all over it. So whatever's. I could have, because it was really close to me. So
I don't know.
Whatever. Chip. That's what I'm thinking. Chips. I thought chip was just food.
Well, I used to have a farm and we would chip the animals so you can scan them and things.
Yeah, they chip all over the place, and you got to shovel or chip up.
I don't know why you're saying this stuff to me.
So Zan the man says, yes, that's why. It's on sale. I know, Zan, because I get the emails. I know what's going on.
He's just he's affirming what you said about the sale.
No, I know.
You don't beat up. You make Zan not smile. You and I are going to have a problem.
I'm laughing because I must have seen it like 3 times in an email, and I'm always checking stuff out there. Yep, so he says, yes, that's exactly why. This will be my first upgrade for YouTube videos and vlogging.
Let's do it.
So so that's going to be on sale for $650. And that, I can't say that it's not a camera I wouldn't get, I just feel this is my only concern. It's not a crop sensor. It's like a less than a 1 inch sensor. It's small, so it's not great in the dark, but it's going to be good enough for most because the aperture can go down to like 1.8, 2.8. You can run it at, so there's a lot of good things. You'll get 4K. You got the flip out screen. There's a lot of good things. The only thing that bothers me with it is not having interchangeable lenses. Yep. That's it. So that would be the main thing that would bother me. because if you haven't had any other cameras, like I always say, Canon is always easier to learn on. The menu system, the touchscreen is always easier. So I love the Canon M50 Mark
What
II.
is the what's the M50 going for?
700. So
it's
it's right
more.
there, and you can go either way. And the only thing I could say is I like the basic lens that does come with the M50. It's not the sharpest lens or the fastest, but it does a pretty good job, and it's wide.
What's
So
the
you can.
f-stop on that? Do you know?
It's 3.5 is the low.
Okay.
So is the low. So, but it is like equivalent 24 to 70 millimeter zoomish, right?
Got
so
a bigger frame, you know.
No, it's got a bigger sensor.
Sensor. I'm sorry,
but it's not so great in the dark either, and that's why it's like really close. And see, he might think like, wow, you know, as his first camera, and if he's not super tech savvy, he doesn't have to worry about changing lenses. It does 4K. It's a pretty darn good picture, right? We're looking at it right here. I think it's really impressive, and I would say really in the end, compared to a lot of people, I wouldn't talk you out of it, but just make sure it's what you need with everything, you know?
Well, yeah, he goes on to say that he wanted something small and compact, but
Right.
the M50 is so much larger, and that is a little bit of a thing. It's, you know.
I'm going to tell you something that's the truth, okay? My particular camera, my ZV-1, it's so small that it almost can fall out of your hands. There's nothing to grip on it. So I actually got a small cage, Ulanzi small cage, and put a grip on it to even be able to hold it, because I'm telling you, and I don't even have big hands, is that the thing is just so smooth and there's no way to really hold it comfortably. And I will tell you that the Canon M50 is one of the most comfortable cameras its size to hold ever.
I've heard that. I don't have either. I'm a Sony guy, but I mean, you can't go wrong either way, which is, I think, the beautiful thing. And we never know what people are really thinking for their future self. So if down the road, Zan's like, yeah, I'm going to get this, play with it. He can get started and do some good stuff.
Yeah.
Just be aware of the lighting. Then you can always get another camera that fits a need that he feels he needs. Right.
Right. And if you think the battery is bad with the M50, you're going to be ultra surprised with the ZV-1. The battery, you'll go through it. But if you're using it as your camera, you're going to have to get a cage for it anyway. Okay. Yeah. Because there's like 10 different reasons I could tell you. I'm wondering if I should just take this off and show him a little bit.
I mean, I really want to nudge him into the Canon.
Yeah.
Without knowing, like, you know, I just don't think you can go wrong. And if that really fits in your budget, it's going to get some work done for you. So I don't think you should feel bad, because I think either I would go with that 50, or if that's just for some reason not really doable and this is too much of a good deal, I think that would be the next camera I'd point him into anyway. Right.
Yeah. I mean, for the cost effectiveness and the good color and everything about a Canon M50, you're not going to find anybody that's going to say anything bad. The ZV-1, everyone's going to say, "Oh, it's good for vlogging." It's not. It's too cropped in on your face. Your arm.
That's the only thing.
People say it's 24 mil, but because when you go and have to put stabilization on it, that crops in a little bit. And they say if you put it on the level 1 stabilization with the camera as is, it's almost like a 32 millimeter crop. So imagine having almost a 35 millimeter full frame and trying to hold it. It's like, it's going to look like pretty much like this. It's going to be like, there's your face.
Just stop. Don't ever do that again, by the way.
No, but honestly, that's what it's going to be like. Okay. Cause this is a full frame 24. So I'll put this on 35, or I'll put it on 32-ish. So if I had this camera all the way out to my hand like this is what it would look like if you were trying to vlog with it full arm's length.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not perfect, but is it a good camera? It is a good camera, especially for the price and what you get. There's a lot of great things about it, but I would just say you have some consideration, and I would go and touch and feel both of those cameras. Go get an M50 in your hand, hold it, and you're going to see that little grip feels pretty darn good for what it is. And the ZV-1, I think, is a great second camera or an awesome third camera.
Yeah.
You know, so you kind of got to go with
I mean, it's going to be an upgrade to a webcam. He says he's using his iPhone now. Those are pretty good cameras.
Yeah, so here we go right here. Got my M50 Mark II in today. He's so pumped.
Awesome, man.
And so one up, James. That is awesome. I know he's watched my video on it, and it really helps you decide. And if you haven't, Zan, looked at my videos on the M50, I have one that's the great reason why you should get it. And there's a video also of the 3 major reasons why you wouldn't. And so take a look at those videos and see if that helps you in any way. I'm looking at it from an everyday perspective kind of person. And I always like to say that if it really depends how tech savvy you are. And I'm going to think that the menu system on the M50 is incredible in comparison to the menu system. And you don't get a touchscreen with that ZV-1. The only thing you do is be able to focus points. So the touchscreen on the M50 is incredible. I really think you should go there and handle both.
He does mention he did. He said he was at Best Buy earlier today.
Oh, you said that?
It out. So,
Jesus, I feel like you're reading. I feel like you're reading everything, and I'm not.
That's fine. I can read it. That's fine. That's why I'm here. I got extra eyes.
Samantha has the M50 Mark II also.
Yeah.
Right?
It does seem to be very popular. It really. This is funny.
Okay, so he says, I'll just hire a video guy who owns an 80D. An 80D is not an 80D is not bad. It's a great picture and everything, but just remember, it doesn't have a clean HDMI. So the Canon M50 Mark II will have autofocus, and you'll be able to stream if that ever comes into play and you want to. Whereas the 80D does not have that. You're going to have to actually finagle a way to stream without autofocus. You have to use manual focus, just to let you know.
I mean, Zan, I'm not good behind the camera either. I will say this as a Sony guy. I think that Canon M50 is going to be so much nicer for you behind the camera, and the navigation's a lot better. The touchscreen's really nice. I just think it'd be a winner for you.
Listen, a year ago, I chose the Canon M50. And the reason I did is because that touch screen is so easy to work with, and it's not going to frustrate you. I don't like, you got to think, if you have your camera in front of you and you have a flip screen coming out and say you're doing this sitting down, you can't with the ZV-1 go and touch and change most everything in the camera. Right at your fingertips. So if you're comfortable with using an app by Sony and going through some of that stuff, because otherwise you're going to have to go to the back of the camera, hit the FN button, and then change everything with the dial. So
which is what I do, and you get good at it. But I wouldn't, if you don't enjoy that stuff or need certain things that the Sony offers, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah. So Roy's talking about the ZV-10, right? I think they're
Roy. That's probably why they're dumping them down $100 to kind of move some inventory that might have backed up a little bit during COVID. That kind of makes sense.
Well, it's been a pretty good selling camera, and there's been some main complaints, and really, I think the most complaint is that no one cared for that cropped in. They want a wide angle lens. They want to go like 16.
Roy, are you speaking to the common the ZV-1? Is that actual model going to be upgraded? Or are you speaking to the ZE-10 they're talking about, which would be a hybrid of the 6000 series and the ZV-1 itself?
I think he's talking about the ZE-10.
Yeah, the one that keep code naming the 6900 or 7000.
Right, which will kind of like the I always get this mixed up. It'll be like the Sony A-C7. I think it's the full frame camera that's the size of like an A6400 that they just put out. They've been having a little bit of trouble with the firmware, but the camera is amazing. And if you put that full frame camera, the Sony, in with a Sigma 24-70 zoom lens, it's an incredible combo.
It'll be interesting to see what body they really come out. They're still talking that it might be the 6000 series body with the articulating screen and some of the other functionality that we like so much of the ZV-1. I was going to wait around for that, but I can't wait around anymore. And it was really this stuff was supposed to be heading out here in May and June, and now it's gone kind of silent.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ifs going on because there's a lot of backlog with processing chips and stuff like that, and until that stuff is more at a better price and more available, that's going to hold up a lot of stuff too. So,
Yeah,
but One Up James says the clean HDMI and price helped in a lot in the decision. And we
absolutely.
always find that out, right, Jeff? Like everybody's like, they start out with which one is better, and then I'm like, well, can you spend 1,000 or you spend 700?
I
And
know.
then
Well, it matters, you know.
yeah, and then when they start talking, they're like, "Hey, that 700 does a lot better." Especially when we talk about if you're maxed out at 1,000, you're better off getting that $700 camera and then spending the extra 300 on accessories or lighting
Right.
for that matter, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's amazing the bang for your buck you enjoy. And that's just from experience of a lot of people. That's a great path to go down.
Right.
Marlene, how you doing?
Hi, Mom. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Mom is
Thank you
packing.
for
She's
stopping.
moving.
Oh no,
Yeah,
moving time.
I know. I hate it. I just did it.
I
It
hate
was a
when you
lot
do
of work. Lots of
Yes.
work.
And
Um,
Roy, I'm sorry, go for it.
Yeah. Roy said yes, the 10.
Yep.
And he says the Canon M50 Mark II with the capture card is in my future up. So here's another
too, man. I
person.
think it's
You know what I
great.
mean? And I just don't think you can beat the price. And if you watch my videos, I think a lot of times I go into like how important is 120 frames per second? How important is 4K? Are you set up to be recording in 4K and editing in 4K? So is that really that important? Because if you can get the 1080p color that comes out of a Canon M50, I think is stellar. Now, if you really want to pump that up a notch, go get the Sigma 16mm lens. You got a great combo right out. So that you'll have two lenses, one that you could do like beautiful sit down talking, right at your desk, and then you can go and throw that 16 to 50 mil and just walk around with that.
I mean, unless this ZE10 or whatever they want to call it comes out and it's knocking me over, my B camera is going to be the 50.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm going for vlog. I don't care.
I don't know. It's like, I won't knock this camera. I think it's great because I want to pick it up and
I need a lens change. I don't like not having.
I know what you're saying, but for me, like, I do like the fact that I could just pick this up and run with this, and it is small. And also the audio that comes out of that camera is one of the best audios that I've ever heard out of a camera. So it's literally, you don't even have to use a mic with it. It sounds that good. And if you go and watch the video on it, you'll get that reaction too.
Okay.
So I think that's incredible. So if that helps you out, let me know. If you have any other questions about it, because this is my Canon. That's not my Canon.
Nah, look at him. Look at his little.
Oh, did I just hit that by accident?
Oh, you modeled the shirts too.
But by the way, this is my
Look at you.
branding, though. That's my new branding on top, and I'm so proud of it. I really am.
It's amazing.
So,
It's amazing.
so
I'm
this
proud of it
is
too.
the Canon M50 right here, Zan, if you're still around. This is the Canon M50 right here with the 16mm lens on this. And it gives you kind of not the true to life picture that you would get this, because I have this heavy lighting coming in this direction. So if the camera was in front of me more, you would get a better vibe of like the color that it would give you. So, but I think honestly, I think he would be happy with either one, because they are both great cameras, and you're so lucky to have a choice like this at this price point in life, So it depends. What's Roy saying here? 4K doesn't make sense for live. Well, no, it doesn't. But for recorded video, yes, right. And so I don't really record in 4K. I upscale to 4K a lot of times. I don't feel the need at all to do that. And so, and I think my videos look really good in comparison to people that even stream it, that record in 4K. So I just don't make great videos though. Great. I just got to make better video content, but the videos themselves are really nice. So we got Ash stopping in. I watched her stream last night. I watched just about the whole thing, the last 5 minutes. I think I saw. So
hey guys, if you didn't see it, Ash did a really, really nice job breaking down YouTube.
Yeah,
thought
Yeah. I like the vidIQ. I had TubeBuddy in the beginning, but as long as you're using one or the other,
It doesn't
or
matter.
there's a lot of people that even use both. So
Yep.
I wouldn't even say that because there's a couple little stronger points on each of them. So some people just use both. So it depends what you want to do.
Yeah, there's a
with that.
trade-off. You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So she's hanging out with friends, but stopping in to say hi. We
That's
really
nice.
appreciate that.
It's good to see her. Have a nice night.
Your ring light is off, he says. Yes, it is. You're absolutely right. And if I turn it on, there it is.
Well, I don't know.
Now,
Mike,
I wanted
why
something
did you
a
go?
little
Why
easier.
did you do this to us? Why? It was fine when he was.
Yeah. I wanted something a little easier on my eyes tonight because my eyes have been taking a little bit of a beating. And this is why I like to keep these a little lower. I can brighten myself up, but it helps me out sometimes.
And I love these lights, but man, I'm not gonna lie. That's one thing I do like about the soft boxes.
Yeah.
I can keep them this thing is so low, and yet I feel like I'm not in the dark. But
Oh, you're in the dark, pal. Trust me.
this is true. But it's a mental and emotional zinger.
Oh boy. Whoops.
What's the point of that? What? There we go. There we go. Timing's everything. But
he says, I am just a beginner, so should I buy both?
I'd say no.
No, because I feel that if you are truly just a beginner with learning cameras, you're going to want to just use the one camera, get focused on learning your pyramid of ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. So you're going to want to work on all that to get all this kind of stuff down. Then once you get that down and you see that it makes a real good difference in your video quality and you're feeling confident in things, then go to a second camera. And it's nice to have a second angle or to be able to show something, but it really depends all on your content. As you see, like most of the time when we're here, we're just sitting here and talking, and we're just, one camera most of the time. It's kind of cool to have a couple different views just to keep people, active. And sometimes it's kind of cool because if they see something in this picture that interests them, a lot of times they'll ask a question about it, and then we can get into a good discussion about that too. But if you're just a beginner, I'm going to tell you something, Zan. I'm going to tell you something that is really truthful that a lot of people don't say, but if you look into it more and more, you're going to find out the menu system on the M50. And if you looked at them, did you go and touch the menu system? Did you hit the screen with your finger and go through the menu system? Did you realize that it's not as functional with the Sony? These are things that are going to help you make video content easier. So keep those thoughts in mind, especially if you're new. I think that's going to be something that really could make a difference for you. So just look over these things, and you got to go with your gut. And when you go with your gut, find the thing that works and just roll with it. Fast forward.
I mean, if he's going to, looking at his videos right now, I think he's a one camera guy for video. I don't, and if he's going to do streams, I use one camera and it's an A5100. So, and so I really think, if I'm just being outside of myself, that particular Sony, you could move up to a higher level Sony, but I think in that price range, I think the Canon is easily the choice.
So I agree with Jeff. And if I were Zan, and this was today, and I'm really picky, all right, because I always make the best decisions moving forward, thinking about moving forward too, I would get the Canon M50 Mark II. I would not hit my Rode microphone with my cup. But I would get the Canon M50 Mark II. And then I would just wait a while for about maybe 8 months to a year. And then I would go pick up a second camera. And at that point is when I would go for like an A6400 or something. So that in the end, you're going to even have a better camera. Whereas right now with the ZV-1 and the Canon M50, they're kind of like almost close because some things are better and some things aren't.
I just feel like for just talking to him and kind of getting a vibe,
right,
that the Canon's going to really be his guy. And as far as, one you can grow with, the Canon's going to be one you can grow with more. And here's the thing, in a year, you're going to have some information on the ZE-10 that's coming out, and that may change a lot of discussions around where we're at when we start talking about the ZV-1 may not even, it could be either the ZV-1 is a great way to go because it's only now $400, or we're going to jump into that ZE-10 because it's given us a combination of so many amazing things. If what they're saying on spec comes out, this could be a real deal breaker, I think.
I absolutely agree with that. And the thing about tech though is you can never wait. You can't wait for the bestest thing to come out. You got to go. Yeah, you try to play that game, but tech it's not easy with, especially when you're trying to create content, because you're not going to grow out of that. If you're a beginner, you're not going to grow out of that Canon M50 for like 2 years. So
no, Zane, you're going to look good. You're going to be great on that.
Yeah.
Canon. Yeah. I'm just saying right now that thing's going to take you up to a whole other level, I think.
Yeah, I think you'll be very happy with it because it is a very friendly camera for what it is, and even more so the menu system than the Sony. I get with the Sony, but I'm telling you, and I don't know.
It's frustrating at times, guys. I use it. I can go behind the camera from the front, and I can do things, but it's taken a long time, and even then, sometimes that is just now. I'm shocked. I just not to veer off too much. I am a little bit shocked. I was told about how stupid or whatever their software was for their phone, their remote. It's actually pretty darn good. I can do a lot of remote stuff and clicking and changing of ISO and doing all sorts of things and zooming and things that I was told we couldn't do. But their latest version of whatever they got for their phone software is pretty solid. I don't know that it does what the Canon does, but it definitely is much better than I thought for what it's worth.
Yeah. I mean, it is a tough choice and to know every angle, but I think he's telling us enough, being that he's more of a beginner and stuff like that. That's Canon telling you. Yep.
When will the Z10? That's the ZE10. Really, I think they're calling it that. It's still, I think they're not totally decided.
It says because I need to record my online courses and do live streaming with StreamYard. The Canon's fine. You could do all that, Zan.
You don't need that ZV-10. I don't think the ZV-10 is going to be better a picture than really the Canon. You could do all that, and more with this Canon, man. I hope we're not.
And the thing is, you'll look even better if you get yourself a Sigma 16 mil, and that you do all your recording with that lens. It's going to look stellar. And then you can put the other lens on when you want to take that camera out and do some vlogging. It actually does better at vlogging than the ZV-1. It is not so cropped in on your face. And I know this for a fact because I've used both of them. So
that helps when you have, and we've had some experience with that.
Yeah.
But man, you can nail your online courses and live streaming with this. I'm working on an A5100. Doesn't even have a mic input on it. It's so outdated. I'm recording my trailer and I'm doing my live streaming with it, and I've had no problems with it. And this Canon is 20 times better.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I know. Here's the thing. He probably gets a lot of input, and I bet you anything that the input is going for a Sony.
Yeah. So, people are like, oh, I have that 6100, 6400. And the ZV-1,
I get it. But the thing is, you're talking to a lot of people here that have had both. And if you go and look, the fact of the matter is that Canon M50 and the M50 Mark II is pretty much the best selling camera ever. Okay. And there's a reason for that, because the pictures, and I don't know if you know what a 5D Mark III is, but that changed photography business. I mean, that took it to a new level back in 2014, 13. And when people were using that camera, you can use a little M50 now that costs 1/8 of the price and get the same quality pictures. I mean, it is very close on that level. I mean, there's a little bit of dynamic range that it can't hold up to, but the picture color and quality, I don't think anyone but a heavy duty professional would be able to tell the difference.
Well, yeah, but those guys are getting cameras starting at $3,000, so it's not really a fair comparison.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
So he followed up here.
Hold on, let me check here. It says, I'm new to cameras, 2 months on YouTube, and I have no videos on camera. I will basically be learning on the M50 Mark II. And I think that is brilliant. Great. And I think, he sent me a message saying that I helped make him that decision by watching my video. And I think once you do narrow things down, because it is overwhelming, and then you think, I need the 4K, I need this, I need that. and I need to spend $1,000, but you don't.
I don't know if
So-
it helps, but like I said, I'm a Sony guy, and I'm buying the 6400, which is right around $900, which is just the base unit, and yet I'm so 1000% in on you guys getting that Canon M50 for what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing. Congratulations, One Up James. That's awesome.
So I would say that he should get the Mark II, mess around with it for a couple months, and then you're going to pick up the Sigma 16 millimeter for EFM, which is for a Canon camera. I mean, once you go and order it, you got to know it's for a Canon because they make an E mount too for the Sony, same lens. And I picked a used one up this one that you're seeing right here was used. I ended up picking this up for $275. This is a $400 lens that you can pick up in the fall time for sometimes $350. So coffee talking tech. So you can pick it up for but if you can
Love it.
if you get this lens, it is going to really just make your quality 100%.
I'm going to say, Zan, if you get this Canon with this lens, you're going to be set for whatever you need, man, for a long time.
So he says, "Good evening, fellas. How are you,
going
Patrick?
on, Patrick?
I saw Patrick got a new video out. We got to check it. I'm going to check it out later on tomorrow.
What's it on?
And I'll check it out. It is on what we were talking about. I think it's Notion with WordPress.
Oh, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all in on the Notion, so that'll work out for me.
So you're right. Even Sean from Think Media favors Sony ZV-1. He doesn't. I mean, if you watch one of those videos, he favors it. And then if you watch another video, he talks highly about the Canon M50. And then he also has not really done a lot with the Mark II. I've watched videos from his website putting down the Mark II. There were a lot of people putting down the Mark II. And while everybody was putting down the Mark II, I bought it. And that's why I made the video. And that's why I think people are starting out. Everybody that was talking bad about it is talking it up like anything, because the fact of the matter is you cannot buy a better camera for the price of what that thing does. So
how many videos did we see in the last 6 months, 8 months of people saying, I take back what I said about the M50? Or
that's exactly what they say, and their videos say too. And they have
there's tons of people that backtracked on the M50.
Yeah, and they backtracked on the Canon EOS R too. I mean, they hammered that camera, but you tell me where you're picking up. I got mine refurbished from Canon for $1,450. You tell me where you're picking up this good of a quality of a camera for $1,450. It's you're not going to do it, and this is over a year ago.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
But I think he'll be super happy with it. And just remember, the Sigma is a prime lens. Okay, so it doesn't zoom in and out, but it's a wide lens, and it's very, very good in dark situations. And it gives you a nice blurry background.
Yeah, I mean, Zan, I'm underground. Right? I have no windows, and yes, I do have some lights that are coloring up here, but essentially it is, if I had a kit lens on this thing, we'd be sitting in the dark. But this lens is the one you're going to get. It's just so good with lighting, man. You're just going to get beautiful light.
And when was your camera made, Jeff? What year?
Oh, that's a good question. It's got to be at least
2015.
Yeah, I was just saying it's
14. I think
it's got to be at least 5 to 6 years old.
So he's got like about a 2014 camera, if I'm not mistaken. And so you can see that by just throwing on this lens and and we're in 720. Don't forget, we're not in HD. We're not in 1080 on StreamYard. So,
and it gets back to exactly what Roy is saying. Lighting is the magic. And I used $19 webcams when I started out. I couldn't even get a 920 because of COVID. So I bought the Jellycomb $19 HD cameras, and I'm like, and then I started doing light because I said go light, and it's amazing. Even with the HD cameras, he's right. Lighting is the key. So I think
you have to have good lighting with a Logitech camera. I mean, those sensors are the tiniest sensors in the world.
But he's right. You can do a whole world of great presentation with a 920 with light.
and with a phone for that matter. And here's the other thing though, right? Zan's talking about doing his presentations or at least live streaming on StreamYard. And, so that's going to tell you right there, every live streaming you're doing, unless you're paying for the higher end StreamYard, you're going to be in 720 anyway. So,
and Zan's using a 920 right now, and I think he looks pretty darn good. So I think it's there's a lot of good stuff for him in front of him if he picks up a good camera like that.
Yeah. So Patrick says from Everyday Tech, I love prime lenses. I've been prime lens guy since I bought the original Canon Digital Rebel in 2003. Zoom with your feet. So
like
that is absolutely true, because you're not going to get the apertures that you get with prime lenses unless you're going to spend a lot of money. For instance, I have a Canon 24-70 L glass lens right in front of me. That's a 2.8. Full zoom is 2.8. So you spend a lot of money for a lens like that, but I tell you, you get a lot of use out of it. This is the only zoom lens that we own. Everything else is prime. So 85, 35, and a 50 are all prime lenses that we have in our bag. So yeah, I would say that I'd be pretty happy with the M50. I love it. So the M50 came with a kit lens and wide angle lens, right? So he's talking, it's a 16 mil, and it is a very nice wide lens. He bought a Taskar SEG 600 and 4 extra camera batteries. So
that's a nice kit. Nice.
Taskar is that's a mic, right?
No, it's that
the SGC 600.
Right.
I think that might be a shotgun mic, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Yeah, because I was looking at him today and I ran across that. So,
and yeah, I mean, listen, I think you're going to be really happy with that setup. I think you're going to be impressed. And I see the thing is that gets me is you're not going to know how good your quality is with something like this, because you don't know what other people are using in their videos. When you go and watch professional people using the Canon M50. I mean, you got people that are huge YouTubers that were using this from 2018 on, and as their main cameras, and they like big channels, and their stuff looks great. So
it's so much light, it really comes down to light and some ambiance, and of course sound really kind of affects what we see. Yeah. So if you have good sound, for whatever reason, your eyes kind of get that weird, like, everything looks good. That's just.
And every time you talk, Jeff talks, he always brings in something that reminds me of like what I'm missing saying here. Because we're talking about saving some money by buying like a ZV-1 or a Canon M50 in that price range to start. Because you got to make sure you have enough money for lighting and sound. Don't forget your sound and don't forget your lighting. It's going to be essential, and make sure that you're really thinking about your audio and how you're going to have to set up your audio. Are you going to need a boom, a shotgun mic? Are you going to need a condenser mic? So remind yourself of all these things, because it takes a little practice to sound good on all this stuff, with making sure you're not peaking your levels. Are you too close to a certain mic? Is your sound levels from where you're recording coming into where you are? Like, because your neighborhood is busy or loud outside, you might have to do something a little different. So keep all this stuff in mind.
Yeah, because look, if you have $1,200 to spend on a camera, but that's all you have in your budget, then you're really going to hurt yourself. That $1,200 camera will look like a $400 camera when you could buy a $700 camera, buy lights and other things to round things out. So yeah. I hear what he's saying here. I read that.
And the thing is, it's small. Okay, I'll agree with that. Simple. It is no simpler than the Canon M50. It's just as much, except that the menu system is more confusing on a Sony.
It is.
To be honest with you, I don't know how it's simpler.
Yeah, it's not. And the touch screen. What's the screen like on the ZV-1? How touchy is it?
Oh, it's not. What do you mean touchy? You can't do anything on it. It's yeah. So it's just, all you're doing to touch that screen is just to get a focus point in on it.
With the Canon, you have a full touchscreen menu.
You can change your ISO, your aperture, your recording
it's really
levels.
Nice. And I don't know. The ZV-1, I believe, is an articulating screen, but
yes,
so does a Canon. And so, I mean, when it comes down to ease of use, the Canon is going to win on this one. The menuing system is just better.
Yeah.
And really, the bigger sensor, I think, is something you want to think about as well.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, because I don't want to be the guy that yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
I know.
Okay. Because I think they're both extraordinary for the price point. Okay. And Zan is a man that can make his own decision. Okay. Which, I mean, anyone can, right?
He's rooting out information. I respect that.
So what I'm going to tell you is, as your only camera, being versatile with changing lenses and everything we talked about, the worst thing that can happen is if you get this ZV-1 and then 6 to 8 months from now, you say, I should have listened to those guys. Okay. That's the worst thing that can happen, because then maybe 6 to 8 months from now, you're going to say to yourself, I'm going to get another camera. And roll with this ZV-1, learn this Sony menu system, okay? And then get yourself an A6400 or whatever. If that ZE-10 comes out next year, then make this your ZV-1 your second camera, and you'll be set. So go with I know a lot of people
lose. You can't really lose.
No. I'm a very strong-minded person too, and I want to go with what I feel. Like, I get this feeling, and I want to roll with it. And so I know how people feel. If you're
asking our opinion,
right,
that would be our opinion on what we think would be best. However, that doesn't mean you could go wrong with the ZV-1 either, right? And don't feel bad about the struggle. I've been struggling with the 6400 versus the M50 for I did that for weeks. And now I'm settled, but it's okay to go back and forth and feel better about it, unless you need something tomorrow, Well, he's worried about that. You know what, Zan, can I just say something about this?
That's the easiest thing you'll do.
It is. And let me tell you something, Zan. I just want to say something in all seriousness. I have never in my life, I don't even think I've picked up a camera except for my phone. I didn't even know what ISO was. And I got my camera at the very end, like basically March 1 of this year.
Right.
And I had no clue at all what I was doing. It just looked like Greek to me. I have no idea. So I get it to you. And I didn't know how to even put the lens on. And then I realized, oh, this is really simple. Don't let that throw you. That stuff is so easy. And there's so many great videos and people here that can help you quickly get through that. I promise you that will not be any at all friction.
Yeah. I mean, Zan, this is how easy it is. You're going to match a white dot with another white dot, put it together and twist it till it clicks.
I was shocked at how easy it was. And then I started thinking photography is easy. And
then well, I don't know about that. Photography, I think, is harder than, I shouldn't say that, but I'm better with videography than I am photography.
I needed the win, John. Okay. I needed that win that day. And I said, I matched a white dot with a white dot and changed the lens. And now I realize how simple it is. Don't let that hold you up or throw you. You'll love the ability to have some flexibility more than there won't be any friction about changing a lens.
Yeah. I just think like here's the thing that I always think about too, is that you're just so lucky to have these choices. I mean, you can go back just literally 2018 and you didn't have these choices like this. So I just think they're amazing. So you guys are so cool. Thank you. Are you talking about just awesome. Jeffrey too?
He said guy. I think he said guys, which would be plural. My friend.
Oh. So so he says, thanks so much. I will be traveling and touring again late this year, early next year. So I'll be vlogging to my repertoire. Okay. So here's the thing. I get you're going to be vlogging. Yeah, I get you're going to be vlogging, and I know that you're going to just make sure you're going to get a stick that is going to be far enough away from your face when you're vlogging with the ZV-1. So put this down if you're still listening. You're going to want to look up a Ulanzi MT16 stick. Do I have it over here? I have it right here. If you want me to grab it, I'll show you what it looks like.
Could you put on some elevator music while you get up?
Do you hear that? Do you hear that, by the way?
No.
The music in the background?
Oh, not really.
No?
No. I do. It's terrible music.
I did put some elevator music on, but it's kind of probably low. I'll pump it up a little bit. I got to plug myself back in, but I wanted to show you exactly what this looks like.
Your music sucks.
Thank you. So So here it is. Right? So this is the stick, okay? And so this folds down. This comes all the way up like this so you can hold it away from you. And it's got this little ball head mount. And then also, if you need to put like a light on here or anything, it has a little cold shoe right there on the side too.
What's the model?
This is the MT16 Ulanzi. This is their stick, and it does a great job, and it's very light. And it's got this little ball head here. And then also, don't forget, and you can go and I did a video on the ZV-1 and my vlogging setup that I have that has like a USB battery bank also. And I think you'll have like the links to all this stuff. And don't worry if you use my links or not, because they took away my my Amazon thing, so I don't get anything for it. So
what is wrong with these people?
I'm just too small of a YouTuber to have an Amazon affiliate.
It won't be much longer, brother. Don't worry about it.
And I hope not. But yeah, and I have like what the cage I'm using. The stuff that I have for this ZV-1 is the best stuff. It's the best cage for the money. It's the most effective. It has the most things available, so you can access all the ports on the camera, even the little button for the Wi-Fi. And this is why I got that one. There's reasons why I didn't get the other ones. And I think that once you go and get yourself a USB little power bank, or you're going to use the Ulanzi BG2 power bank stick, you're going to get like 4 hours of use out of that. So he says, cool. I probably gave him so much information. He's like, his head's spinning.
He's probably like enough of these two.
He's like, oh my God.
You know what, Zan? Maybe you should
making up these numbers.
Ban us for a while. Maybe put us in a timeout.
Ulanzi, what?
What?
Who?
A Lulus? You know, and it does change things when you talk about wanting to go touring, this and that, and you don't want to screw around. I mean, with lenses and things, because in our world, we're thinking about streaming live, doing some things locally. You know, you start touring and having to deal. As someone who tours and is going to have to go back on the road myself later this summer, I get needing to be very nimble when it comes to equipment and moving around and not leaving lenses in a hotel room. So I still get that, man. That's so I think it's tough. I think maybe you go with John's, as much as maybe you do go with John's point about you get the ZV-1. You can't go wrong with the ZV-1.
Go wrong. I just think,
if it's, you know,
yeah, if he goes 8 months down the road and he said, you know, well, there's some things that I realized. So what then? 8 months from now, he gets another camera backup and he'll be using this one as a side profile. It's only going to make his videos more engaging to have a second view.
I mean, essentially, it's what I did, Zan.
It's just money.
It's just money. Nobody cares except the wives. I bought an A51. Oh, Jesus. I don't even know what to say. But, you know, I went to eBay, bought a used A5100 because, again, didn't know a thing about cameras. And it's going to end up being my B camera. So, I mean, it's fine. You know, you can just push it down the line. It's okay to evolve and grow. So you do what go with your intuition after you get the information. I so respect you ask for the information and you're looking, that's smart. But at the end of the day, use your gut, what goes for Zan, and you're going to be fine.
Yeah. And I think that's what Zan is, right? He's asking questions because it's going to help him make a gut decision. And in the end, he's going to make his own decision. And that's really great, because I think you should just go with your gut feeling of what you feel comfortable in the end, because that always just reinforces my own feelings most of the time.
And the $100 off right now is something that's nice too.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like Samantha is saying, she got a dummy battery. You can get the dummy battery for the ZV-1 too. Just remember that the battery door does not close. Yeah. So the battery door stays open, which usually most cameras shut off and won't turn on. But at least the ZV-1, if you get the cage again with the open bottom, and you can see, that's how you can access those things too. Having the cage to offset the camera lets you get the things faster. So having a cage on that camera is really useful. Almost any camera for that matter.
Yeah, it's true.
And a lot of these smaller cameras, though, if you put them on tripods and everything, it hides a lot of the stuff, so you can't get to it fast. So just having to offset it and be able to throw it on a tripod faster is very useful. So, But
I think Samantha's stuff looks great. So whatever she's doing and learning with her camera, I think she's nailing it.
it's a Canon M50 Mark II. She's learned how to set the settings, and and it's like we talk about. It's about learning your lighting, right? Learning your ISO settings.
So
She's getting enough lighting to keep your ISO settings low enough to get a quality look. And really, you got to do a little bit of research to figure that stuff out. And so once you do that, Zan, and a little practice, you'll have things looking really good. It was really surprising how good the video can come out of the Canon M50.
I just want to say it again, Zan. I so feel you on this, man. I knew nothing about cameras, and I managed a very complicated A5100. I think you're going to hit a home run no matter which of those cameras you use.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%. So, I mean, really quick too, as I wanted to talk about some of the things that I was getting to. She says that I use the kit lens as well. So yeah, the kit lens is great as long as you get enough light on that kit lens. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. It's going to go with 3.5 is the lowest aperture you're going to get. Which is not going to give you an extremely blurry background, but you can get a little bit of blurriness out of it. I told you about the new things that I've been working on, right? A little bit.
I just want to say, I want to follow up one more on Zan here.
Go ahead.
He said this weekend, I'm pulling the trigger, no paralysis from analysis. Well, first of all, I love that term. I use it all the time.
Right.
And yeah, let's go. You go in, buy it with authority, and then you're going to enjoy and 1,000%, man.
Listen, there's no reason why you can't get good content with that camera. So
you got good content.
Well, I'm saying a good picture, a good video out of it. He's gonna have no problem. The ZV-1 will do it. It's just that there's always pluses and minuses with each camera, and it really just we ask the questions because of if someone said, hey, I've been using Sony cameras, and I'd be like, okay, then the menu system, you're going to be able to jump right into this camera. And so we ask all these questions, but in the end, you're going to make it's a great choice, and one or the other is one of the best choices for the money. So I can't argue with that.
Yeah, $100 cheaper if he does go with the ZV-1. I mean, to me, that's actually a kind of a helps with the decision.
Kinda, because I just feel here's the thing.
We still go with the Canon. You and I would still go with the Canon, but he does throw a little wrench into it with the worry with the touring and extra stuff. And I don't know, like I've done enough of that to know every little bit does matter sometimes with that. But I don't know. I don't think I think it's that unknown thing where he thinks probably that's going to be a problem. You and I both know it won't be, but until you got to try your path. You know what I mean?
If you think you're happy with the Canon camera battery getting an hour and a half, you're going to be happy with like 50 minutes out of the ZV-1. And if you use 4K, it will be even less. But the thing is,
you're setting off the lens size for about 15 batteries that you have to have.
Yeah, you're going to have 4 batteries ready to go right off the bat, charged, and bring the charger and bring a USB power bank so you can keep on recharging them. And then also, which you would have to have like 3. If I carried 3 M50s for the day, that usually covers my recording for the day. But you'll definitely go through more with the ZV-1. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's always plus and minuses, and none of them are perfect. And I just feel like if you're going to be also recording, like a lot of professional video to go out, I mean, I truly believe the Sigma 16 recording quality is going to be better.
Yeah, you see, that was the thing when we're talking about doing your online courses, streaming. That 16 is going to give you just the better look, And what happens here, and I got into this with the 6400 versus the 50, was we're trying to pull the best out of these cameras for a variety of situations, and that's really hard to find at this price point. I want a perfect vlogging camera and a perfect this, and I want the perfect battery, and I want good luck. That really doesn't exist.
I'll tell you what I was going to say, how I am. And it's like, I'm in the works of getting what I think might be a really good vlogging setup coming. And that's coming tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to put together a GoPro 7 Black And I'm going to have that. I'm going to have a full vlogging setup with that camera. And the reason is all the parts that I bought are going to be really useful, making it streamlined, very light, and it's going to be such a wide angle on it in general. Now, the quality doesn't come out like, like these other cameras with the bigger sensors, but it's pretty darn good quality because you get like 4K, 30 frames. I
mean,
think
the quality's good, but it's got a little fisheye to it, doesn't it, though?
Well, yeah, and you can change that though. So you can go extra wide. You can bring it into linear, and so you have different modes to get rid of that if you don't care for the wide. But the thing that makes it very useful is you're more apt to take that out and use it. So if your arm isn't exhausted from carrying something and stretching your arm out and having a stick and it's lighter, it's more useful for you to just throw up. You don't have to angle things so perfect in a lens because the lens, it's such a wide angle lens. All these things make it more useful for people. If it's the same thought process. Sometimes the best equipment isn't the most used equipment because it's physically hard to make everything work. But if it's easier to take something out and get decent video or good video, and you're going to do more of it, it helps you put out content more.
What is what's the battery charge length on that?
Which one?
On the GoPro 7.
It's not long. So that's another thing that you'd have to take. Like one battery probably lasts you like 50 minutes. Okay. And so I would be using a power bank with that.
But I mean, you also have a camera that's pretty tiny.
It's very tiny. So yeah. So I'll be using I'll be using a smaller power bank that I could probably get 3 to 4 hours out of. And so that will cover me for, most of the day.
I'm anxious to see it. I think it's going to be a really good, like kind of, I say gorilla like camera, but it's going to be better than that. It's not like it's like that level. It's going to be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, because you could take it hiking, you could take it in the city.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You're right. I mean, that's the issue. It's like, oh, I'm going to go hiking and take my
$1,000 setup.
I'm not.
I don't want to. Happen. I walked around Arcadia Park in Maine with the Canon M50 and the whole setup. And, I just want to have something that's even versatile. We're talking about going to Tennessee, in a couple of months and whatever. And so I wanted to have a GoPro because we're supposed to go zip lining. So for me, I was like, I'm either going to get the headband or the chest, zip line with that.
Can't wait to hear you scream all the way.
I'm going to fall off and some bad stuff's going to happen.
You're gonna be in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. You're gonna fall off a zip line.
Yeah, crippled.
It's gonna be something. You know what, Mike? I'm always playing around with my
shutter speed, aperture. Took me a few tests, and I still tweak them every now and again. And you're always gonna have to tweak, especially if you have a window in the room and the light is always changing throughout the day. I have a window in front of me, so if it's daytime, I'm gonna have to mess with my ISO. But the great thing is, and I've showed this a few times. If you have, and I don't know if Sony does, you would know, Jeff, better than me, but I have the app that comes up with the
Did I just talk about the app? Like
this guy right here, though.
Yeah.
I got this guy. That's you.
Oh, this guy. Yeah.
That guy. So this guy right here. So this, that's not Jeff. This is not Jeff right here. But if you take a look at this whole thing right here, see that? This whole thing is the app that comes with the Canon M50. So I can change my ISOs here. This is my shutter speed. Here's my aperture. I can go into these settings down here and change my contrast, my color, my white balance. So all those things are really cool to be able to do right from an app in front of you if you're sitting at a desk and doing these types of things.
Yeah, Sony has that. You can do it. Because I was told they didn't, but they did change the name of it. I think it's been updated. It's been nice to have it on the phone for some of the remote stuff I'm doing in the studio. And you did bring up a good point. I used to really lament the idea that my space down here really didn't have windows, but I've come to enjoy not having to mess around and worry so much about flipping around the ISO. I can kind of set it and let it.
Right.
So that's kind of a nice thing. What's Zan saying here?
So he's saying that, oh, yeah. Oh, wait a sec. I'm not passing this because this is like a good one. So he said, you guys talk like filmmakers. I just want to shoot series of 10-minute YouTube videos, very basic stuff. Oh, to tell you the truth, it's what we do is very basic. It is. Even, if you look at the quality of my videos, I'm just trying to get to a good quality myself. I think the quality has gotten so much better in 10 months. It's unbelievable. And it's going to be the same for you. The first couple of just trying to get everything together, like Mike was saying, with the ISO and the picture and your presentation and everything, because it's kind of weird. Like sometimes when you put a little pressure on yourself, you start choking up with the video, but you seem pretty smooth in your videos. So I think you're going to have a lot more success with that.
Seriously, like, what do you do at night, John? If you take that ZV-1 out and you're touring around and you want to vlog out at night, what is going to happen then? With that,
you'll be struggling, but you'll be struggling with the M50 a little bit too. It's not the greatest low light, especially with the kit lens, whereas now the ZV-1 has a lower aperture. So, so there's a trade-off and they're very close. So he goes, guess who's late for dinner? Thanks guys for all the great advice and good luck. And I can't wait till next week. You tell me what camera you definitely have.
You can't go wrong. So when you walk in here,
enjoy.
We'll put money on what I think he's going to get the ZV-1.
Yeah. I think he is too. And I think that will be fine.
And it's $100 off. You go in there and get your ZV-1, feel good about it, learn it. And there is no loss here. And down the road at that price point, you'll be like, this is a great B camera. Or
I think he'll be really, I think he'll be happy. Look who's in the house.
Oh, you talk about filmmakers. Talking about Brian Paul. Now there's somebody who's got, Why are we vlogging at night? Well, oh man, I just kicked something. That's a good point, Brian. Is vlogging only meant for daytime? No, is that the thing?
He probably, where he lives, he's not allowed to go out at night.
Oh, it is Indianapolis.
I don't know.
I don't want to say it loud to anybody. 9 o'clock. Yeah, he has to go in the house. It's like some weird movie.
Here is something I've been working on, and I just want to show you the size, what this looks like a little bit. So let me switch over to the ZV-1 actually. And so this is not perfected yet. Okay. So I don't want you to think that it is. It's not yet. Okay. But this is the wireless HDMI setup that I'm going to be using right here. So this is my hand, so you can see how big it is. Now these antennas are, a little bit bigger. So, but it's pretty small and a pretty light setup, and it's connected to that power bank that I talk about that you can plug in, and then you can put the camera on here. And this is going to allow me to, and there's the Sony battery can go right on the back here. It goes right in, slides right in here. And I can go for about an hour and a half wireless, maybe 2 hours right here with that battery. And I can get a bigger battery that will let me go 4 hours. But I just wanted something that was going to be decent and offset for weight and for usage. And then it has this little spin-on metal bottom. And I did a video on this stuff, so if you need to find any of this stuff, just look for my ZV-1 and Ulanzi setup in my videos, and I have all this stuff in there. And this is the wireless setup, which is a Hollyland Mars 300 Pro HDMI wireless setup that I'll be using shortly. Probably by next week, I'll give a little use of what this looks like.
Fantastic.
And
I'm excited for that, because there's I'll venture at these price points, I'd be willing to venture into some remote stuff pretty soon. I do have to get my camera, so that's a price thing, and and then
I'm just excited because I think it's gonna be really cool.
No, it's gonna be very cool, and it's gonna be very informative to have somebody that I know that delves right into that, and be exciting to put that out here and have discussions on it.
Right. And so then with everybody here, I'll be able to go take a walk upstairs, maybe pour a coffee, sit down with you at the table and look at my phone and have my phone plugged in. And I want to see how that goes.
Yeah. But now that just feels like we're the little people, and you're the guy who gets to walk around, and we're just sitting here like minions, watching our king move around to his table.
What are you talking about? You're at the table with me. You guys are all at the table. I'll be able to bring everybody to the table.
You're like, I'm the court jester.
Yeah, pretty much.
Entertain me, clown.
But everybody will be at the table. So it'll be like, sit down. I'll be able to sip my coffee, and I want to see how bad the latency is.
That's
with
true.
Talking to you guys,
that'd be great testing.
Yeah, it'll be great testing. And then I could tell people like, you can use it for this, and it's effective and it works.
Yeah, StreamYard's gonna.
Because if you see most of the videos on it, most of them are just taking a walk down the street and say, hey, this works great at 400 feet, and I want to sit down. I want to do a live stream with it and say, hey, I'm using this setup in a live stream right now, and we're making it work. So
you're making it happen.
Am I sound pumped up about it or what?
You sound really, really pumped up. I like it.
I love it.
I feel like I want to go out and run through a wall now.
So what's he saying here? If I had to buy now, I would go with the ZV-1. But because of you guys, I will do some more research on the M50. The thing is, I can put the ZV-1 in my pocket or a fanny pack.
Well,
wait a second.
Wait, let's back it up a second.
No one uses fanny packs, bro. Zan, do not wear a fanny pack in New York City. Don't do it.
I just got this picture of Zan wearing a fanny pack, and look, I'm not gonna. Zan looks like he's a big guy. I don't want to
don't piss Zan off. But
no, I mean, just saying. But that smile, it could turn into a frown pretty quick.
He's turning that smile upside down.
Oh, Zan, I didn't mean to make you mad. Why are you so mad?
So no fanny packs, Zan, especially in New York City. Okay,
I have a feeling he's going to fight us on that. But I think that okay, let's just seriously say this. I think it really, really, like when you break down the variables, this is very important to Zan, and I think because of that, I think the ZV-1's probably going to be his go-to.
There's no doubt it's smaller. And then if he wants to take it on the run with him, just make sure you put that wrist strap on and you wear it around your wrist, because it is going to be a slippery slope to hold on to that camera with no cage on it. It is very tiny.
Right.
So I'm just telling you, because most people have bigger hands than me. I'm a big guy, but I do not have big hands. Okay. My wife has the same exact hands as me. And so not the same hands, but
do not let John shame you into no fanny pack. If you want to wear a fanny pack,
Dan, don't do it, bro.
You wear a fanny pack.
I'm going to go check this really quick, but fanny pack. Okay. No fanny pack, inside jacket. Yes. I'm just telling you, if you're in New York City, they're going to think you're from like Germany with a fanny pack.
Well,
only the Germans, they come over with the like ultra green fanny packs, and they stick out like a sore thumb. But I'm just busting chops. I mean, use whatever you got, but you'll never catch me with a fanny pack.
I would so love to see you with a fanny pack. Oh my God. I would have like hot dogs in my
So really quick, I want to say, he says, Mr. Douma is in the house again and stopping by to say hello. Hello, friends. You guys are awesome. Thanks, man. We really appreciate that. And we love you.
Below awesome.
Yeah.
We're a step or two below awesome, I think. We're not quite.
Well, we're trying for awesomeness, but you know what? If someone tells us, I'm going to roll with it and say thank you.
Fine. You're right.
I'm just going to say thank you. So Brian says, so you are wirelessly streaming to your main rig. No, I won't be on my main rig. I'm going to set the ZV-1 up with that, or the GoPro that's coming tomorrow. And I will probably do it on the stream and have it ready to go, and take a walk around and see how it rolls and see how it works. And I think it's going to be really cool, because 2 for 1, I want to vlog with the GoPro Black, and I want to, because the stabilization is really pretty incredible, and I want to use that wireless system. And then one day I'm going to test it up the road in a live stream. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh, up the road.
Yeah, I can go like 400, 500 feet maybe. So that would take me to the corner up there probably.
Well, there's a lot of things you can talk about up to the corner.
Yeah. So
you can just chide the neighbors that are along the Wi-Fi stream and just rant on their yard and their flamingos and all that stuff.
So I think my mom's laughing about the fanny pack talk.
I think she knows. She knows how silly.
I think she's probably has a fanny pack on now. But
with mints in it. I know that's what my.
Zan, you the man.
That is not how Brian talks. That is
Zan
not
has heard that all his life. Come on, I know for a fact.
Zan,
He
you're the
probably
man.
is. So I just want to thank Brian because I went and saw right before this stream started that he went and bought one of my Coffee Talk and Tech shirts.
Heck, what?
Yeah, I was like
Oh,
so
man.
psyched, and you picked out a
Way
nice
to go,
one.
Brian. I thought
My
I'd be
main
good buying a
logo.
mug, and you had to up me with a shirt. Oh,
Yeah, it's true. I wore that shirt. I regret it, and I'm wearing it next week on the live stream again. So just want to let you know.
You never wash.
I just want to let you know I'm wearing it on the live stream again. What? Let's go check. Zan is still here. Isn't Zan supposed to be eating dinner? His family's going to kill him.
Zan's eating dinner on a TV stand, TV dinner, like TV tray, whatever now.
Okay, Zan, I love it because he's probably dying laughing when we're talking. But he's like, LOL, when I ran the marathon in Hawaii, they gave us all fanny packs to place our small items in. But hey, no more fanny packs? I agree. Well, so listen, Zan, did you run that marathon in 1985? Because that's the last time fanny packs were popular.
No, you still run. You do actually still run marathons with fanny packs.
No, I was going
to say. He was with a million other fanny pack runners. So he was safe.
Don't spoil my joke, all right? Because I used to watch the Iron Man all the time in the 80s. Remember that guy? What was his name? Mike Steele? Mike?
That sounds like a porn name.
No. You would say that. This is a clean show. So
what does that mean? You would say that.
This guy was really like an ultra marathon. He was not an ultra marathon.
I know what you're talking about.
Marathons in the 80s, and he won so many of them.
Not Jim Fixx, who died of a heart attack.
They all had the fanny packs and stuff. Because like you said, you got to put the stuff in there, all the little things,
People, you got to put sunblock and your Uber card and
So Brian wants to check out the wireless setup, which I'm going to be psyched. I'll be doing a video on it too, because that's going to be cool. And I really want to document my little fun with that setup. But I tell you, I did a test with it, and it literally it sunk right up and brought the video right on the screen. So it was like nothing to do but plug these things in, and they sunk to themselves, and boom. So
that's great, man.
So John, it's like we're always searching the same stuff. That Hollyland is something I've been looking into getting. If I get another big gig, like another Zoom wedding, I'll be getting the transmitter. So I've been looking at these for about 6 months, I would say. And I'm glad I did not get it, because I probably would have not got the right system. And I was going to go for the 400 because I thought it was better. But this 300 enhanced system, because actually they got rid of the non-enhanced. It's actually just as of last week, they stopped making it. So if you pick one up, they're the last ones. Adorama had a couple of them. But I got the enhanced system, and they're really good quality. And for the price, I mean, the price is amazing to have this. This is something that would not be able to have in a consumer's hand like 2 years ago. It wouldn't even be a thought for under $1,500.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's amazing in general with that. But so what is he going? Okay. You know what? He sounds like us. He sounds like us. He says good night, and then he hangs out for like a half an hour after.
Oh, he's a man. We do this.
We just want to chat tech, and we love it, Zan. This is fun stuff for us to talk about.
Oh, it's been a blast to talk to.
Yeah. Zan about this. And anything else, Zan? You come in next week, whatever. You got questions about anything?
We need to know. Yeah, we need to know what happened. What the lowdown. Did they treat you right?
What's next? What are you looking for next? What are you looking to get?
Yeah. 5 minutes later, after you get
Blue Yeti. But. So, of course,
you can put a Yeti in a backpack.
Yeah, and throw it off a cliff.
Sorry,
throw it off a cliff.
You could do that. Absolutely.
What is this? I hate to break it to you, John. But fanny packs are the biggest trend of spring 2021. Just saying.
I just did a Google search. She's right.
How does she know that?
Dead silence. Well, she's got a master's, dude. So already she's way ahead of us. So there's that. And she knows how to Google and probably pays attention.
I don't care. Everything comes back.
You asked a question. And
everything comes back. Well, no one wants to be wearing a fanny pack. I
Have
don't
you
care.
been to Disney World, my friend? You want to carry that garbage around Disney World all day? Have you? Come on. No,
I
your pants
don't.
fall down. Your pants fall down around your ankles. You got to carry that stuff. I'll wear a fanny pack at Disney World.
Screw that.
You would get a baby cart or a buggy
Not
just to
doing
put
it.
your stuff in that and push it around as opposed. You would never even wear a.
It's a Masters plus 45. Listen to her.
See, I was kind of
Show
rubbing
off.
it in.
She's a show
She's
off.
flexing. She's flexing on us.
So
Love it.
Everyday Tech and Brian Paul, their channels also great now. I will also visit Marlene. You can visit everybody, and he does. Mr. Duma is like the social acceptance police of the group.
I like it. He's a social butterfly.
He's a butterfly. That's what I meant to say.
I know it's what
He
you
goes
meant.
around.
Cleaning it up. You didn't have to like hammer it. I wanted to smooth that out.
Straight me out.
Yeah. We'll work
Still
after the
caffeinated.
show. We'll have a discussion about how we work on that.
But so he pops in everywhere, and he's like the well-known guy stopping in and saying hi, and it's great to do that. You get to know the people, the communities, and they help support you, and vice versa. And that's a good thing to do on live streams too. So
He's got a good logo. It stands out. I noticed.
yes,
It's a memorable logo.
It
I
pops.
really dig it. Yeah, really pops. Well done, sir.
the color is what does it. You don't have that color, you don't got that pop.
color. Just jumps on everything. Yeah.
So Aaron Picardi, Parecki, I forget how to say his name. Parecki. This is the same guy that made that Chrome extension that lets you pop up the chat from. Yeah. So this is the same guy. Yeah, he made that chat extension in Chrome, and he has if you never checked this guy out, he's super technical on a lot of stuff. But if you've never checked this guy out on YouTube, he's got a lot of great stuff. I saw that, but I actually checked this stuff out months before he did that video. I forget where I saw it. It was months ago, and I saw it somewhere in some video, and then the latest video that was kind of popular about it was Tom Buck. Tom Buck did one, but I did see a couple other things that I love about it. So it's a great thing. There are plenty of stylish ways to wear a fanny pack. Yeah, like probably for Brian Paul, he'd just wear a fanny pack out. That's the only thing he'd wear.
I just don't, Danielle. I just don't know that there's a stylish way for John to wear a fanny pack. When I go to Disney, I'll strap fanny packs to my arms. You need to carry that stuff around. There's so much stuff.
Fanny packs belong only on the fanny.
Oh, jeez.
I'm telling you, couple more classes.
Doctor. Oh, that's awesome. Are you gonna call her, doctor?
I do already, because she does the rectal examination once a week.
What? Did I have my mind kind of what? Okay, I'll go back and watch that in slow motion later on. That was a weird
what? You're like, oh, what? We said Mr. Doom in Gaming is a great supporter of everybody. That he is. He jumps in everywhere. He does say hello, and he's like, it's almost like he doesn't even sleep. I feel like he may not.
Maybe not. Maybe he's drinking coffee at night like we are. So
yeah.
That. You probably have to do the filter with maybe the channel or something, or instead of
I mean, that's my mom anyway. I don't know how many people that she has. I mean, it's kind of a little bit creepy that you want to
stalk his mom.
Yeah, subscribe to my mom.
You go into a mumbling mode. He starts trailing off. No problem talking about erectile for a week, but no.
He says our stream just glitched.
Did it? Let me take a look.
I don't know.
It's possible.
It may glitch, but I think we're back up. So maybe it did. I don't know. I did pop the screen. I made a little change, so I don't know if he was watching or not. But it's
there we go. I couldn't get into it.
We have to be up.
We see him on.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it happens. Also, it could be his internet. It could be ours. Who knows? I didn't see.
I think what you should do is you should blame chat. I think that's a help.
Yeah. We should blame chat. I was really hoping that I was going to get. I was hoping I was going to get a sub, because I wanted that little thing to pop up on my screen tonight.
Somebody go Well, probably everybody
No,
sub
no,
to it.
no, don't. But I just was
I
saying
want to
that
see.
that
I
would
do
be,
want to see it. He got that little thing that pops up now.
yeah, the Stream
Can't wait to
Elements
get that. I
setup.
can't wait to do that. I'm going to do that to myself.
I'm psyched. I love it. I love it. And I gotta just customize it next, and that's the next thing that I'll do. But
Yeah.
what are some of the cameras that Mr. Duma Gaming? Do you have a camera? What do you use? If there's and I think Everyday Tech says he's got a 6400, doesn't he?
Thought so.
Excuse me,
Let us know, Patrick, because
Patrick. I think you got a 64, right?
do you guys think I should order my 6400 live next Tuesday? And I tell everybody the thumbnail would be that you got one last chance to talk me out of it, and then but I'm going to order it. I'm going to order it Tuesday.
Yeah, but there's not going to be one person that's going to try to talk out of it. You're going to be like, can you just buy it already? You've been talking about it for like 3 weeks.
Listen to you. You're like the guy who just steps on all the balloons at the party. I'm having fun with it, and you're like, can you just buy it already? Can you just get on with it?
Let's do it.
I love that you get excited about your little audience laugh.
Just do it already.
Let's do it. Shut up.
He wants you to buy. Brian wants you to buy 2 5100s so you have no possibility of sound coming in. So we'll see Jeff from 2 angles, but we won't care what he sounds like.
I'll be in stereo silence.
He's got the 65. So that's good.
How do you like it?
Yeah. He must like it. It's good.
Yeah. I imagine.
Yeah. Mr. Duma, he goes around, he leaves comments and everybody. And I try to support him. I did watch his latest video. I'm not even to gaming, but I like to just see what's going on and what people
his
are
editing's
doing.
Pretty good. Derps 2 is pretty good. I like gaming editing is definitely an art.
Oh, absolutely.
It's definitely an art. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it. I watch that over like live stream. I can't sit there and just watch people do live, but when they edit up some really cool gameplay, I like to get into that.
You can't watch people do live? That's us.
Live gameplay, you goober. I said live gameplay.
You're really going to off-put people.
Oh, you just told Brian glitches were his problem. And then that's off-putting.
I didn't say glitches. It was something else.
That's mic inputs are overrated. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to do a sock puppet show.
Yeah, with the blue sock.
And I could just do closed caption underneath.
It's going to be a blue sock?
Yeah, it's going to be blue. Because then it won't show up.
So, there's 12 people. There can't be 12 people watching this. Who the heck is watching this? I mean, I got 12 phones in my house, so that might be them.
I don't think so.
No. I mean, is there anyone out there that is watching this that hasn't even said hello? And if you haven't, please jump in and say hi. Don't be afraid to ask a question. Even if you're just watching and you can say hi, I would love that. It would be really cool.
Brian awesome. And I had a little discussion earlier, and this is let's see what he said.
It's not that old.
No. Over camera in body stimulation, no flip out screen. No. Oh, the 6500 didn't have a flip out, or is it just a 180 deal?
No, it's not a flip out. It's a flip up.
Flip up. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah. It's not articulating. It just flips.
Neither is a 6400, which is something that bums me, but that's not a deal breaker for me because I'm not going to care. And today I showed you, how'd you like my, did you like the way I extended over to my Android tablet so I could do OBS wherever I wanted?
He was very excited about that today.
Well, it was kind of, well, now I feel bad. I thought
no, cool. You were excited about it because it frees up a lot of room for you.
Well, okay. It just in short, all it means is that I have this station and I have another station separate from here that I want to shoot other videos. I don't want to have to move my laptop and everything over there. I'll run a cable for a mic. But then it was like, well, how am I going to see to turn on OBS? Because I can still record with cabling.
Oh, I see your point now. So you're saying that's what you meant by framing.
Yeah. So I can see better the framing. So this will allow me to, because I can extend this desktop where it's actually coming from.
Okay.
And then I can control OBS. And so I can see a really big frame. And I can also then operate OBS remotely to record, never leave my station over there. and then it'll just dump into here, and I don't have to move anything on my desktop.
I guess I see what you mean better. I'm so used to just having my camera flip out and I frame it. I frame the setting and then I just go over there and do whatever. So I mean, but if you could sit where you are and just pick up your tablet and look at the framing and make sure, and that makes you feel better and you can change things, then that's
when
cool.
you record, I mean, if you were just recording onto the camera, that's a different scene.
Hmm.
If I'm recording through OBS onto my desktop, though, which is what I'm
Right.
going to be doing, that's a different thing.
Yes.
I don't
So-
have the option to record sound onto my camera, so I'm looking for a way to do this remotely.
Right.
Plus, it
So
is more
that is
efficient.
handy.
Yeah, and it was
That is
easy.
handy.
It was cool. I thought it was cool. Yeah.
I didn't know how you were hooked in because I wasn't sure if you were like wireless or not. And then you told
It
me
is
you were
wireless.
wireless.
So
yeah.
you run what's it called? Stream, whatever. Steam Desk. And you run that on your Android, you throw it on your Windows, and they instantly hook up over your Wi-Fi, and you can go long distances. And so you extend the desktop of your Windows right onto your your tablet or your phone, and you can just take that anywhere you want and control it like you're on your computer. And you can just take your mouse too, because your mouse will work here. So if you want to take your mouse with you and it reaches on Bluetooth, that's cool. Oh, it worked.
No, there it is.
Someone did it. Well, the show's over.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
even better.
God.
Show me, you goober.
Right here.
Move yourself over to the left.
Wow.
Now it's gone.
That's great.
Make it last longer. Next
So
time.
I got a subscriber. That's what that meant, by the way, guys. I got a
I didn't
subscriber.
get a subscriber. I
So
didn't get a heart.
that's so cool. I love that. I can't wait
So
to customize
I got to get a
it.
heart. It works nice. So
It does.
I can use that on my OBS, right? I can run Steam
Yes.
elements onto that just like I can Remix. So
Yeah. No, it will be, it works just like that. It's the same exact thing. All I do is drop a browser in there and then you put the browser where you want it to pop up so it's not over your face or anything.
yeah,
And then that's
true.
it. That was really cool. I like
That's
that.
very cool. I like it. Hi, John
And-
and Jeffrey. Well, I didn't read all
Yeah,
that.
let's get this. John Jeffrey, everyone here tonight. Sorry I'm late because I had to prep for my stream in 2 hours. Glad I still made it. I don't
Why
know
are
how
you
she
even
does it.
here? No, I mean, you should never apologize. First of all, never apologize for stepping in anytime and saying hi.
I was talking to Lala and her friends. They were making Father's Day gifts,
saw that.
cards.
Yep.
I think it was yesterday morning. I forget because every morning just rolls into the next. But I was watching, and they were really, really nice cards, actually. So I was at my desk, and I left it on, and I was watching. So, and then let's keep up with what's going on here. She says hi to Samantha and Danielle and Brian. And then Mr. Doom is back. He says, no bothers. I don't have any camera. I'm using an Android phone. I bought it for only $170 US. What do you do? Financial problem. But someday I may get it. I'm just a student. Oh, okay. So that's great. So you're
Whatever.
Yeah.
You can shoot great stuff on an Android.
absolutely.
So,
And so he's just a student and he's running around. He's making things happen. So he's hustling.
see, there's such a benefit though to not getting bogged. I know it's easy to say, oh, financial. I get that, and that's another subject. But sometimes, like I found that with the A50, I had the financial thing. I bought a $350 camera to do what I'm doing because I didn't want to spend, or Quint at the time, spend the money, and it worked out to be the best because you learn so much by using things that don't work maybe as well as other newer stuff or is easy. And so for me to have to get in there and really figure that out and then realize, oh, it's not all about the camera. Guess what? There's something else involved called lighting and placement and all this stuff and lenses. It can really force you into something. And so for Mr. Doma, what I like is he can spend time on those issues, but he can spend time on content and other thing. By the time you get your camera down the road that you want, you're flying. You know, you're moving on. So.
And once again, like Jeff said, you're learning to learn how things work properly. Like when you have the best equipment, it gives you a little bit of a handicap thing. But when you don't, then you realize how important lighting is and how you have to set it up. And that just helps with the flow of everything. So that's great to see. And he's just a student and he's plugging away and he's stopping in here. We got young people stopping in. We got Derp stopping in. We got a gamer stopping in.
Yeah. You know what I want to say
talking
though,
about cameras too,
Mr. Doma, that you may only have a phone, but your channel looks great. Your logo is a killer. Your edits are great. So I don't see anything that's really holding you back right now on these type of things.
Right.
And More power to you, man. I just
He's not letting anything hold him back. That's
No,
the thing, right?
I love that. Yeah, I love that. So
So,
very, very cool.
so Zan is going to rock it with whatever camera he gets anyway.
Oh,
so
yeah,
there you go.
he's gonna run with it. He's gonna be fine.
So the A6400 doesn't have a flip up screen, so you can't see yourself in the full frame yourself. The 65 doesn't flip up all the way up. I put a little mirror attaches. That would drive me nuts.
Yeah, I can tell you would go absolutely.
I would throw that thing as far as I could.
You would throw it.
I'd
I wouldn't
sell it.
throw it because I'm not John, but he would throw it. Although my patience with that might be just a little bit much too. Yeah.
So he's got a stream on Sunday night. I hit the set reminder, and if I'm not doing anything, because that is Father's Day, and if there's not anything super major going on, I'm going to try to catch your stream for sure.
Yep.
So I set it and forget it until then. So hopefully
that's great.
I'm
and
there.
Congratulations to you, man. That's great.
And also he blew past the 300 subscriber mark. So
very cool.
Everyday Tech is moving up, and that's what, subscribers and watch time. That's what we're aiming for, right? Making some good videos, getting watch time.
I really probably should go. I mean, for a lot of reasons, I need to check him out, but I think his setup might be a little bit similar to mine, so I should check that out.
Uh-oh. See how long, something long here.
That's the heart that went off. He thought that was a token of my love or your love for me, which I thought so too. And then you told me it was.
What the heck is that?
I don't have heart, so I'm not getting.
That's another subscriber?
Yeah. You're loved, man. You're loved. And it's not me. I'm not doing this. I'm sitting here watching your hearts. I'm with Brian, though. Those are hearts for me. You just love your stream, buddy. That's what this is about.
So Mommy Guy says great job.
He's like,
I'm skipping that one. Great job, Mr. Duma Gaming. I'm sure you'll be crushing it in time. He is crushing it already, right? If you're here hustling, Mommy Guide's always hustling. Yep. Jeff and I are hustling. We got people here that are working hard, and we got people coming in that are just setting up their studios and are talking about some of the things that are going to be essential for them to do some good content. And so we discuss these things here, and that's what it's all about. So
there's some people in here tonight that are absolutely working it.
Yeah, thanks, brother, for your good advice. No problem, right? We say to him, and we always appreciate when you can stop in and chat with us anyway. So it's a plus. And
we're just glad you said hi, man. That's all. If you took something out of that, then that's even better.
Right. So that's what I'm working on, and I'm also going to be using the Go Wireless 2 setup with the GoPro 7. And so that's going to be a really tight, small setup. And instead of using a Rode Video Go on top mic, with the big windscreen on it and stuff, I won't have to do that. And so the idea is to see how long it lasts, because they say that you can go like 7-8 hours with that Rode Wireless Go setup. So
that's a good chunk.
Yeah. So I want to see if that's true or not. And so that would be really cool to have that. And because then I could actually put the camera down too and back off a little bit and just talk, and it still picks me up from 10, 20 feet away. So that could be cool.
Well, we don't really need to hear you, but that's
no one wants to hear me. Great job, Mr. Jimmy Jamie. I said that already.
Don't be a victim.
At least someone cares that I'm going to have something cool to show everybody.
I care. I'm excited. I told you that. Even in private, I told you that. Even though you made fun of my little tablet effort today.
But that's really cool how that thing pops up. You got to set that up.
Very cool. Yeah, I think I got to do this. I mean,
all you do is you copy and paste and put it in your browser and that's it.
So you're just doing the stream element setup, and then you're just importing the stream element window.
Yeah. So when you have a web address, you just bring that in, you open up a browser and web address.
I was just happy to get my coffee thing set up last week. So
that is helpful though.
And now I can do the stream element thing. So that'll be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice. It's nice because it lets you know, when people sub on the stream,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I like that.
Ash is back. Well, I hope
Ash is back and she's better than before. Hey,
Hopefully
yeah.
that doesn't mean the friend thing didn't work out. Hopefully
Hey,
that.
yeah. Ash is back.
uh,
Sorry.
that's fine.
I was singing today.
That's awful, but okay.
Yeah. I was singing on the platform today. I do that. People, they boo.
What song were you singing? What were you singing?
I don't remember.
Was it ABBA again?
I'll sing some ABBA. I don't care.
What's your go-to ABBA song?
Dancing Queen.
If you only had a fanny pack singing Dancing Queen on the platform.
There's nothing wrong with a fanny pack if you're, 50 years old.
That's such garbage. What are you talking about?
It's garbage. I am 50 years old. Jeff is like 55.
I'm 50,000. I'm going to be 60 tomorrow.
So that's my plans to get those things rolling, and so I can have everything that I need. And I got some video content that I could do also. So I have the cheapest audio interface you can buy on Amazon.
What?
It's like the UM2, I think it's called, right? So it's like the cheapest one sitting back there, and I want to see how if it sounds like garbage or does it sound decent. So it was $50. It used to be $30.
You might be able to make that sound pretty good, especially with some post-production stuff. Maybe.
Yeah, what I'll have to do is I'll do a little bit of regular without any processing, and I'll do some post-processing on it, and you see how it sounds.
Yeah, so let's hear both. And,
so we'll know. And then, I tried to trade my two mics in. I offered that guy with the NT1. I was like, hey, you interested in a 990 or a 120?
Really?
You can yeah.
990?
Yeah, it's loud. It sounds good, but do you hear? I don't know if you noticed. It's like it's really evident when you're using it, when you're listening, that it picks up a lot of background.
Well, you've got a desktop right next to you with 4 or 5 fans, and so I think probably we do hear a little bit of that. I don't think it's bad.
You hear it today, right now?
Yeah, it's not turning me off. It's not distracting or really noticeable unless you start putting some ears into it. You know.
Yeah, what I mean? I would assume when my air conditioning goes on, you can hear that.
I mean, your voice sounds great all the time, so I don't think it's an issue. And to me, what's worse is when people like me started dumping in too much noise suppression, and then your voice ends up cutting out and weird. I mean, to me, that's more.
I'll put on some processing, and you let me know how this sounds. If it sounds worse or better.
You're doing it through the
Rodecaster. So I'll show over here. I'm going to go into. I'll go right into my mic, audio processing. I'm going to put a noise gate on, and you let me know if you hear the gate open and close a little bit. Okay, I'm going to turn it on right now. So now you're on. It definitely killed everything in the background.
You know what?
I have no.
I don't. You know what? It's not fair that I even do this because I just realized I've got a little bit of noise because I didn't turn off something in the other room. So I don't know that I was hearing you before, but
yeah, I'm curious if you were, because I can hear it a tiny bit, but it is very low. So right now
I think I was hearing me. I think I was hearing me.
I have a noise gate on, and that just shut everything down. And I just want to know, does it make me sound like a little bit more processed or anything? Do you notice it?
I barely, but I do notice it a little bit.
Yeah, right off when I say the first syllable, right?
There's that. I just feel like it's holding a little bit of your voice just back a tad.
Just
it's not as present. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's me. I don't know that the average person that walked in here would know or care, but yeah, Yeah. I don't. Again, I think it's unfair that I gave you that critique because I think I was hearing a little bit of my noise, not just yours.
I don't have a real loud room, but I know when I have the AC comes on in here. My joke is always like in the house, I'm like, it sounds like a jet taxiing up to take off. It's like it is loud when that comes on.
Yeah, because
So
Brian mentioned here the same thing that I was going to go down is once the problem is once you get YouTube compression and all that stuff, it kind of squeezes out a lot of that noise. And then what we were running into, Brian, and we realized is, we're trying to squeeze out some of that stuff on the front end here, but by the time you double down on that through
it's impossible.
StreamYard and YouTube, you're just squelching anything that's worth anything. Oh boy, here we go.
So real talk. I know I'm on my own here, but what is it that people like about GoPros? They are terrible in any light but full sun. And unless I'm going to use it as a crash cam, I don't see the point. So
I'm gonna get some popcorn here.
For the most part, that's somewhat, I think I could agree with that. But the GoPro 7 Black is definitely the best when it comes to color and probably in your black and whites. And I think everyone says that there's absolutely no improvement or actually even maybe less as you moved forward into things. And that is the main reason why I got it, that particular one. And also because it's $250 now. So it's not $400 that you're paying for something. And it's not for something that I'll be using all the time, because definitely not as good as a picture as a ZV-1 or a, Canon M50 Mark II. But I wanted something like super light and functional. And on top of that, the audio sucks too. So I had to buy the audio adapter, and then I'm going to have the wireless Go, or I could hook up, a video GoPro or something like that. And I bought ND filters for it too. I got four set of ND filters. You throw those on, and those make huge improvements in your dynamic range and color contrast for different things, because when it gets too bright, actually, it looks like crap too. So it's definitely, it's going to be a little fine tuning. But the thing is, right, if it's partly cloudy, I'm throwing an ND like 8 on there. If it's like super sunny, I'm going to throw an ND 16 on there. If it's like mostly cloudy, I'll throw an ND 4 on there. So it's like, it's not like you have to know like so much, as long as you're not washed out. That's what you don't want.
I mean, I've historically really not loved the GoPro cams. I don't like the fisheye stuff, and we talked about that. And I know that you can kind of make some tweaks, but I think now take the other side of that though. You're not going to walk around and go, today I'm going to record myself using the GoPro instead of my Canon M50 for my next video. You're taking something, and your idea here is to take it, especially on trips where you can grab information with a light camera. You can wear it. And still, or are you really thinking about trying to use this as some kind of B-roll camera on something?
No. I want to take it on the streets of the city and like vlog.
Okay.
So I'm not going to have to worry about taking $1,000 setup now. You know what I mean? I'm literally taking a $300 setup. So if it gets stolen, someone tries to rip it off, it drops or something, anything like that, it's not crushing me. And in turn, I'm going to use it more often instead of saying, hey, I don't want to bring all that crap in a bag and it's heavy and my arm is tired after 45 minutes. Fanny pack. I'm not wearing it. So, so to have something like really light and compact, and I'm going to show you guys the whole thing by next week of how I'll bring it on next week's show on the GoPro 7. The compact vlogging setup is what I'll probably be showing next Thursday. And I'll be able to show you how small and how tight it is. And it's just going to make me want to use it more. I want to go in and get the video in the wide angle of us walking up a street in the city and capture the presence of where we are in Times Square. It's hard to get that without having some extreme wide angle stuff.
Are we getting into some areas where we're kind of allowing ourselves to say it's just too much work to get the shot we really want with this camera, so let's just settle for a little lesser quality just because it's more convenient?
Yeah, absolutely. Because convenience.
No, I think that's a fair answer. I just
Because convenience still, and this is why I like the M50 Mark II, convenience makes you want to do more content. When things are easier to get the content out and you're still getting a good quality, it's worth it.
I know. I'm just. I always get a little. There's some middle ground there where it's like, sometimes easy is not the best answer to use or the best excuse to use to not do something a certain way. But again, there's variables all over the place. Why not use a phone?
Because it's not going to be as easy or as compact. It's going to be even smaller than a phone.
Really? I mean, it's squared up. I mean, technically, if you take
Plus, I have my phone. It's half the size of my phone. Kind of.
Oh, it's thicker. If you
It's
really take
thicker, but not by much.
Oh, okay.
If I show you the case, I mean, you got to
They are
remember.
pretty small. It's been a while since I've held one, so I can't.
I mean, it's a little bit bigger, but look how, look how small these are.
Everything looks small in your hands. Turn them sideways, like flip them up horizontally.
I have small hands.
I have small.
I
think by the time you stretch that out, it's going to be the same. Like
I'll stretch it out after the show. And then we'll see.
Please do a live on that. I want to see how that goes down.
I'm telling you, you're not going to be able to get the wide angle look and the look you want to get with the GoPro. The stability alone is worth it. Like, have you guys not seen GoPro 7 film, like the stabilization? You're not going to get that with a phone.
I'm not arguing against the GoPro.
I'm just saying, like, you would have to use a gimbal with your phone, which I do have, but it's another thing to bring. Like, this is going to be, if you see like the quality video of guys riding downhill on the bikes, once you get to the GoPro 7, that ultra stability that they have in the system is like 10 times better than was before.
I'll argue that you're getting that stability and that convenience, but I'll also say you're sacrificing picture quality to get it.
Absolutely, but it's
You're
worth
okay
it
with
because,
that, and I think that's fair.
Yeah, because you can't watch a video that's jittery either.
Well, as long as it's colorful, you can.
No, you drive you nuts.
That's a joke.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know what it looks like on a bike. I've had it.
No, it's terrible.
It's horrible.
It's brutal.
So if you get like a chest strap and you have that thing here and you're going mountain biking, it's you can't even watch that video. It's so bouncy, right? So it's going to make a huge difference.
I mean, look, for those kind of things and anything that's kind of like
but even walking.
Yeah, sure, walking too. Okay.
You're walking in the city and you have an M50, you put it on the first level of stabilization because that's only what it's good for. If you go into the second level of stabilization, the enhanced, it crops in like another notch, and then it's like gets to be tough, and it doesn't really do a great job. Whereas on the first level, it's kind of acceptable, and you have to use the stabilized lens at the same time. But there's by no means are you going to have the smoothness of a GoPro 7 Black. I mean, you would have to use a gimbal. You would have to.
Yeah. I can just hear
he has a potato.
Like losing their mind, like
who?
Well, like Brian. Brian's probably gasping for air.
I don't know why.
Well, I mean, I get it. I think it just depends on, some people are like, I don't care what it takes. I want the ultimate picture. Now you start getting into things of motion. We're talking about even a different type of variable, like, and also if you're going to be zip lining, I'm not going to be holding up a camera and everything else and to go down a zip line.
No way.
You know what I mean? So
it's unusable. Like biking, I got this for things that it's going to be for things that I would tend to say, I don't want to bring that bag and all that stuff for the whole day. And then when you have this little setup, you're going to tend to want to bring it. And that's how it goes. So it's like, hey, would you rather not have any video of that? Or would you rather have a bunch of video because it's fun and light and easy to use? That's the way I look at it.
I think it depends. I think there's some people who they don't care. They're going to take stacks of things no matter what.
Who's they?
I don't know. There are people who think along that line that won't sacrifice any quality of the shot or anything and for convenience is all I guess I'm saying.
I don't know. There's people who are morons if they're taking $4,000 cameras on stuff like that.
Well, that's why I asked you though. I think that's the thing. Like I kind of asked you about going into the city, or you're talking about using it for a city, shot. That's a little bit different. I mean, I guess if you're walking, it's not, but I guess I just wanted to see to the extent that you were going to use it to replace your current setup.
Well, the thing is, I don't want to take my current setup out at all because my arm is going to break off in 45 minutes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like
45
you
minutes.
go.
You know exactly when your
Have
arm
you
falls
gone
off.
like vlogging? Have you gone walking around a whole day? Like I did it in Maine, and by the end of the day, it's like that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
You know, and
well, that's what I was saying though. I mean, I'm just trying to get a sense of where you want to fit this into your toolbox. So I was just trying to, if it's strictly just for vlogging.
I'm not really sure yet. Like I'm not absolutely like, I want to see how the video turns out. And if you go watch all the people that know more than I do, they think it looks great for, what you're getting. I mean, these people, there's millions of views on it and they're all saying it's amazing. And people are buying it up. There's thousands and thousands of reviews positive on the GoPro 7, 8, and 9 as far as the stability is just unbelievable. So at that point, everybody agrees that the 7 has the best quality picture.
Right. We're talking about vlogging. I was talking about.
No, this is what they're doing with it too.
No. I know. I'm just talking about when I said replacing your gear, I was talking about more even in your home studio or anything like to what extent.
No.
Okay. That's where I'm just pressing around.
No. What's his name uses it? Patrick says he uses it as an overhead picture.
Oh yeah. I've seen that for sure.
But I mean, in my studio, no, there would be no sense of that. But here's the other thought process too. Like if I can take that on the run with me, then it's one less thing I have to take out of here and break down and bring back, So it's it's, and it didn't cost me anything because I just used points. So that's the way I looked at it too.
No, I mean, gear is a pain in the ass. Taking gear and traveling with it is just that.
Here's the thing. Remember I told you a while ago, like a year ago, I bought a gimbal, right?
Yep.
How many times did I use it?
Probably.
That's not 10. It's 0.
Well, that many. Wow.
I used it 0 times.
Now, what was your, I think I know the answer, but what was your friction of using it? Huh?
So first you got to learn how to balance it, right? Yep. And otherwise it's fighting against it. But that's kind of like once you do it a few times and you have you can mark off exactly where it goes with the equipment on there. So the balance, that helps. But then it's just then you say to yourself, I got to take this pretty big size gimbal plus my camera. And you're thinking do you know how much that weighs? It's great. Don't get me wrong. The footage is going to look great. But you're not taking that in and walking over the Brooklyn Bridge with it. You're just not. You're not going to do it.
No, hell no.
So here it goes. Now, if I'm using it every 3 months, I have to reteach myself again how to balance it.
Yeah.
And it just becomes I said to myself, listen, I would love to have that great footage, but it's a dream. I'm not going to go there. And I find a lot of people saying the same thing about that. And I'm like, I want to use it because I want to get this footage. And they were right. I didn't use it. And to be honest with you, a lot of people have waited till the better Sony cameras came out to be able to have, real good gimbal effect. But I don't have $4,000-$5,000 to spend for a camera to get that good quality, stabilization. So I really care about the stabilization because I've seen it. I don't want to see that head bop and shake the whole time. It just drives me nuts. So if I can get video of my family on a wide angle and it do pretty well, because I know the picture quality is not going to be that of, they say it's 4K, but we know it's not. It's a super small sensor, but it does a great job on the things that I wanted to achieve. And so if for that matter, it covers what I want it to do, which is mainly going to be, I want to try it for vlogging, but if I go on a hike, if we go to a national park, if we go zip lining and I put that on, if I can get any video right there that I would not be able to have any video, I love it. I love it. And it will be worth everything to have that video. So.
Right. Yeah,
Right. He's right. Yeah,
he's
it's
right,
true.
and that's why I stopped giving it. I stopped worrying about what, like for example, the 6600 has IBIS. I'm like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, well,
It
that
works.
IBIS and that compared to like the
I know, but still, like
A7s.
if those aren't great at that price point, I'm not expecting much out of what the 6600 having. And
No.
basically, what I was told was, yeah, it's great if you want to take shots of animals or something. Like it's more for photography in the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
Because
working great.
the shutter roll is
Yeah,
horrendous. Especially here it is though. The shutter roll's horrendous in 4K. It's not bad in 1080p.
Yep. Yeah.
So I mean, and that's another thing though. Like if it's decent in 1080p, that's good enough for a lot of people too.
Yeah, I'm not worried about.
I'm gonna say that to you tonight though, so that way you'll be like, oh, should I get the 66?
No, I'm not doing it. I'm just not. I've the 66. If anything, I'd get the 50. I wouldn't split the money into the 66. It's an extra $300+ I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I know it is. It's a big jump. That is a big jump. Potato GoPro. I'm your new sister friend. I'm your new friend sister.
Yeah. I like it. I poke around and make fun, but actually I'm very interested in it because I tend to agree when there are obstacles, or we call it friction, to doing something, people stop doing it. And that's just a fact. And when this day and age, if you have to sit here and mess around with this and that in gear, then these simple ideas are just never going to.
Well, the only thing I would say to Brian is like, how much vlogging have you done? So if he's done a lot and he's happy with carrying the heavy stuff, God bless you. But I don't want to do that. That's like, it's the stuff that I have gotten, in general, the footage with the M50, I'm pretty happy with, but same thing. You got to have a variable ND filter, but, which anyone should have
on there. He does say on there that should work great. Like that should really calm a lot of that stuff.
Oh yeah, but you need it no matter what camera it is. You got to have an ND filter if you're filming outside. Because you're going to run into those situations. You're just going to get washed out and you can't control it. So
yeah, it's wild. It's crazy. Yeah,
and there's other ways to have an ND filter that I could put a variable on there, but it's more expensive. And to me, it's just like, I'd rather have the ones I just press on. It was cheap enough to have those because it would have been like another $30 more to have a variable. And to me, it's just good enough to have something that's, at least I know I'm not getting washed out.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you've got a really good setup for your first run at this. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what you get.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see this setup. I'm thinking of outside the box. No. I understand how you're thinking, but I'm just, and I agree what you're saying, but here's my main thing. And like I say it, I agree with everything you're saying about the quality, but the fact is I won't use it. I won't take it out because if it's too heavy and too much stuff, it becomes cumbersome. And I know everyone says that they will, but I guarantee they won't. I guarantee it. Unless you're a filmmaker making a good quality film for somebody getting paid, are you going to want to carry that crap all day?
Yeah. And that's a good point. That's where that threshold changes, right? Where we're like, well, wait a minute. Now you're talking about paying me. And now we can have a different discussion for putting a pack mule into this variable.
Oh yeah.
Equation. That's a
whole different thing. But when you're with your family and with everybody and you want to get those, easy moments where I am walking over the Brooklyn Bridge and I want to take some cool stuff instead of being all cropped in wide angle.
You're going to pull that thing right out of your fanny pack all right together. And you'll be like, I'm so cool. I have a fanny pack.
We used a backpack actually last time.
But the fanny pack's back. So
we did take the M50 over the Brooklyn Bridge and we did take some pictures and they were really nice pictures actually.
Because I always think it's hot, like when the couple's together and what he does is he puts it around the back to look cool and then the wife will walk up and unzip it to get the wallet. It's just I think it's a tender moment.
What I do is I put the fanny pack on my wife and then I don't put anything in it. So I act like I'm getting something out of the back of the fanny pack all the time. And then I put the fanny pack on me, but I cut out my pants behind the fanny pack. And then for like 15 minutes, I looked for change in the fanny pack.
15 minutes.
Yeah. I give it a tops 15 minutes.
15 minutes. That's an elaborate approach to handling the fanny pack. So he disagrees with the needing an ND filter. Now, is
So,
that Brian? Are
well,
you trying to say that it's all about settings at that point that you can because I know a lot of guys use ND filters, so I don't know enough to really comment on it. I'm just curious what his take is on that, honestly.
I don't know. I don't want to go like F12 or and then have it like I want to have a good quality picture, and the way you're going to get that is dropping your ISO down and increasing your ND filter a little bit.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to wait for what he says.
You're waiting for that answer, right? He doesn't own one. That's why.
If you were smart, you would.
Oh, geez. If you're smart.
Well, listen, all I'm telling you is like, say you want to use a good lens that has like a 2.8 f-stop, and you want to use that to get that that picture. Yeah. I mean, the only way you're going to have your depth of field and that sliver of in the sun is by using it. And so how do you bring down the sunlight?
Are you getting those ads on YouTube with the ND filter that's all kaleidoscope now, the kaleidoscope effects? I'm getting this popped up on every YouTube now. I don't even know why. I've never looked at an ND filter
on YouTube. Oh, really?
Yeah. So the ads that come up, there's this thing now where they're just using like kaleidoscope effect filters and stuff. It's annoying.
I saw that.
Yeah, we oh, Brian, we're going to pull on you. We have to. You have such great information, and we're going to nibble on you.
No, listen, I never learned this stuff by just knowing it. I mean, I took photography in high school for 2 years, so I did learn something. I did get second place one year in the photography contest for the school. So I did learn how to take pictures.
You didn't do that.
Yeah, I did.
I won a spelling bee in junior high, so watch out.
Oh, there's no way. But nothing relates with that time frame except for your ISO, your aperture. So the basics of photography still make sense, but as far as anything else, as far as camera usage but that's it's more important to know the basics of how to take a good structure or a good picture than anything, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Look, I mean, I think that's why the ZE-10 option, they're really working hard to squeeze it down and yet give all these options to try to make it so people don't have to bring a gimbal, and they don't have to struggle with the little thing. So they don't need to bring a monitor, and they're trying to work really hard to make this so much easier to go and grab. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be near as go and grab as the things you're putting together, though.
Right. And I disagree with this comment, though.
If you want to shoot wide open, you need ND, but f16 at ISO 100 looks fine.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, that becomes more of a preference.
Yeah, it's not a preference if you're trying to achieve. Well, it is, but put it this way: no one's going to be happy with having everything in focus in a portrait picture, or with like you're on vacation and you want to capture something and have it stand out. F16 is not going to do that for you. So
you're not going to have any
separation. It will not be washed out.
It'll be a nice image.
And that's what people have to do. Like if you don't have an ND filter, this is what they do. But if you have an ND filter, then you could drop the ISO down and then, make it look the way you want to. And that's not always the perfect scenario too, because at some points those ND filters can only go so far. You can't use them to
Brian's point. And we've kind of shifted into photos when really we should be talking about video. And that does change. This too change a lot.
And my two cameras, I could do 1/8000th. So you can drop that shutter down a ton too. That's a good point.
I like this comment it is a good point. And Brian, you're right. There's such a different animal. So it's good to have that straightened out. In your country, it's night, but in my country, it's morning. I'm still in the bed, and it's good to watch streaming early in the morning to learn English from you.
Well, there you go.
Although we may not be the most beneficial English teaching people, but you can order a coffee from what we learned, right?
But at least he's not learning like English from somebody in Texas.
True. There's that.
He's going to have a Texas. He's going to come to America. Accent, he's going to have a Texas accent.
Or some burners out in like LA County, sitting on the beach, and they're just, hey, bro.
You're
right. Yeah. I mean, you're going to get a better a better semblance of English from this as opposed to the deep Texas, probably.
Yeah, I'm just busting.
You're
but
just busting. We're gonna probably have a Texas person be really upset.
right, I know. We're gonna be like, you're making fun of accents now.
Oh
We're
no,
not
we have
watching
accents.
you.
I have a Midwest accent. You have a little bit of an East Coast accent.
I have a little bit, very little.
Mine's a little bit hybrid because I grew up here, but then also grew up in like Tennessee, Mississippi, and the South. So I have this weird pickup once in a while. I start moving into Southern accent, which is weird.
Yeah, I don't catch it that much on you though.
No, I've really worked on it.
I
When I
don't.
moved back up here, it was like really annoying that people would call me out on it all the time.
Yeah, well, that's what I said though. It isn't important all the time. But the thing is, if you're doing pictures for money again, which I've been there with my wife, and we learned pretty much like after a few years that we need to have ND filters. It's like we would be in areas where you couldn't control that lighting and you still want to give these people a good quality picture. And it's frustrating that you have to move people instead of having the right equipment.
So on ND filters, just to pass along some information. What do these things generally cost? Are they another huge range of prices based on quality, or do they sit inside a certain pocket of a price range? What
A decent quality one will cost you anywhere between like $70 and $100. They can cost you a lot if you buy the Peter McKinnon series, ND filters, but there's no need for that. You can get a variable ND filter that will probably take you 6 stops. And they're basically an ND filter is like having sunglasses for your camera.
What would you recommend?
Tiffin is a good name, which is pretty cheap, and K&F is another one. So those
as far as a variable ND as opposed to fixed, would you get one that has like the 6 stop range just to have in the toolbox?
Yeah, and so and also some of these ND filters, they're only like, even if they're 8 stops, some of them can only be used 6 stops. And once you go too far with it, it sometimes gives you a cross effect on a crop sensor. So
and are they specific to photography and video, or can you use it for both, or
both?
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like a lifesaver when I went on vacation, because it gave me some really good quality pictures, and it gives some good quality video, and being able to keep those settings. I mean, you're right. You can always listen. He's right, because people need to learn how to use their camera properly, and there's things that you can do like your shutter speed, and I get that, but also, do you want to have the best picture? And if you can spend like $40 or $50 on a variable ND filter and makes your life easy, then I would just get it. It's like it would be a no-brainer to me, because it's just so effective, I think.
Yeah. And I do want to step back on his comment about the cheap ND filter and shifting colors.
Is that what he said?
He's just saying that
That's
cheap
true.
ND shifts colors to stay away, and I could totally see how that could happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so you do have to get a good quality one,
Right.
but there are cost effective ones that are, I think that you would be very happy with. But he's absolutely right with that. I mean, you can't go and get the cheapest one, and it took me a good amount of research to find the right ones to get, because you read a ton of reviews, and then you just listen to the smart people. It's simple, right? If you listen to the people that really know photography for those specific cameras, they already know like what ND filters work great for what.
Well, I just want to have my 6400 and have color profiles and shoot with a pretty neutral thing, so I can add LUTs. And if I have to have a ND filter to make sure my camera's not going nuts, then if I'm outside, then great. I think I can do that. I think I can pull that off.
So the cross effect isn't only crop sensor. It's more often in a crop sensor though, but it's more prevalent in a crop sensor. I don't know if it's
because the sensor's smaller, and it's just.
I believe so.
I would imagine it.
I just know from everything that I've read, most people were saying that in a full size sensor, it was less apt to happen.
I could see that. I'm laughing at. I'm sorry, man. I had a thing pop up. And he's just funny because he's kind of reminds me of me. It's like, don't do this, that, then it's like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to buy an ND filter.
I've been down that road already. I've
Yeah.
done it years ago. So it's like I was there, and it's just like I remember had the family up against the house, and we're taking like graduation pictures like 2 years ago for one of our family members, and it's like frustrating because we couldn't get the shot we wanted with, you know, the quality we wanted. And it's like we moved the whole family up on the porch so we can get some sunlight. And that was like, enough is enough. We have to get some variable ND filters for us. And she was, and even before that, she was getting, you know, like people are paying you $300-400 for a photo session.
Well, and nothing for nothing. I took my 5100 on a trip this winter up lake up on Sturgeon, and we were on a lake. It was really sunny, so I thought I'd take it out to go take some photos. I got this new camera. I know everything now. I know a little bit about ISO and shutter. But guess what happened, right? I had those beautiful sun moments, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's just so white,
overwhelming.
And then I'm like, oh, I read about ND filters. I mean, this is what, but again, I never picked up a camera until a couple months ago. So I'm trying to get caught up on that stuff. So I'm not the expert here at all.
I'm no expert either.
Well,
but
I hate that word. I don't have enough experience in it to speak to it, other than what I've learned because I failed. And that's the beauty of these things, right? This is all about just learning on this journey of growth. So yeah,
it's also great. Like, it's like you just said, unless you've gone and done like what I'm talking about, right? Like, I like to grab other stuff and I want to see how it makes me use stuff. And if like the A10 mini, like I could tell you, I love it. It's super usable. It makes sense money-wise, like all these great things, you know, there's certain things that really just make a lot of sense. And then there's things that like, I will not buy that again. You know, like a gimbal's not for me. I won't do that. I thought I would.
Gimbals are sitting in closets, not used.
Oh yeah. And so to me, it's like, I think I will be shocked if I'm not overly like emphatically surprised and happy with the video I'm going to get out of the GoPro, and happy that it's so easy to use. I'll be shocked if I come back and say, you know what? Is nothing with what I thought. I'm disappointed.
I think I'll be shocked because if that happened, because it's just, this is a product of you honing in on a target through trial and error and experience. So I'd be shocked if you came back with a negative experience about this, to be honest.
Because I believe I have a good idea of what to expect. You know, so I don't think I'll be a huge disappointment on that, because I knew that the audio would be a struggle, you know, because I've heard, I don't know if anyone's ever heard audio from a GoPro. It is not good. So it's like an absolute must to have a better audio setup. And then from there, you know, the picture is what it is, you know, and it's very acceptable for an action camera to get the look that you're getting. And the and once again, take a look at the stabilization. I think you'll be blown away at that.
I've seen some demos of it, and it's quite impressive. I mean, I'm really considering at some point that I would like to do that as well. Once I start moving into that world, I have too many worlds around me. I'm a little behind you on
worlds are colliding.
Yeah. Well, I have some worlds down here to get flushed out when videos to do here. And I don't have the time and the space to start putting my mind out into these things. But I think it's a great, like, I can see doing that, because I'm a guy would rather just take a small box. I have these little mic boxes, just put stuff in the mic box, grab it. That's my go thing, go up north. And,
are you just hitting stuff?
I just hit my
every time you reach out, you're hitting something.
And
you're blocking your screen up here in the corner.
I'm like an angry man. I don't know. Get off my lawn.
Something's blocking your screen in the corner too. That little sheet right there is in the corner of your camera.
Sheet? What the hell? I don't have a sheet.
I don't know. What's this in your upper left corner? It looks a little dark.
Yeah, there's what is that? Oh no, that's not it. That's a window right there. Right.
That's a fanny pack.
Right here. It's a wall fanny pack.
Oh, okay. So he says the black is better audio.
My monitor is my camera is a little higher tonight. Yeah.
The black
The
is
black is a little bit better. Yeah, it's still
which
not
does.
terrible.
And then he says Potato 8, but there's no difference in the camera in the Potato 8.
Oh, is that right? So you must.
Yeah, the only difference is the settings in the menu system are a little bit easier. Otherwise, it's the same exact pretty much setup.
What's the price differential?
I think it's at least $50.
I mean,
it might be 75.
Yeah, I could put that towards the mic though.
Yeah, but that's what I did. That's exactly what I got. You have to get the little connector to connect. That's exactly what I got. You have to get the little connector for the mic and stuff, and the case, which makes it all in one. Instead of having things flopping around looking gross and stuff, it's going to be a tight little setup. But the GoPro menu system in the 8 is like the improvement where you can just go and have like your settings of how you want it. Like if you want it like linear 4K 30 frames, boom, and just hit one button. I actually have to, in the 7 black, you just got to go in and set those separately.
I mean, that is nice, but yeah, I mean, it's
not a huge deal.
Here. Now, are you going to go scuba diving in very tight outfit and use the GoPro?
No, Speedos. I just do that in Speedos. And listen, don't put the GoPro down the back of your bathing suit because people think you just took a dump then. You got to put it in the front. It impresses a lot more people if you put the GoPro in the front.
There you go. That's where we're going. I knew that was coming. So someone thought you took a square poop. If you put it backside, I mean, that you need to get that checked out.
Reminds me when I was younger and the guy said, put a pickle down your Speedos. And my one buddy put the pickle in the back and it did not work out well.
It just seems to me that whoever that gentleman was should have been arrested for having that discussion with kids.
It's my grandfather.
Oh.
I'm only kidding. It wasn't.
I hope so. My mind started going. I'm like, tell me that's not his real. Tell me that's not his grandfather.
Oh God,
that's terrible.
Listen, I'll be surprised if I'm not like happy with what I'm getting because also we do mountain biking as a family too, and like there were things that I'm going to use with this, and so I kind of thought like this will work out well. And
so this setup that I saw and everything, you can mount that to a bike, no problem. Yeah. I know you can mount the camera obviously to you for zip lining, but what are you doing with the sound in that case, the sound options? So
I could sound option is not going to be as effective with things because I'm not going to put the Rode Wireless Go on there.
I didn't think so, but I wanted to just make sure.
Yeah. So I mean, I will bring a little shotgun mic because they're cheap enough, but it probably won't get used, and I'll probably just be using this. If I'm zip lining, I'm probably just going to be using the sound out of the GoPro.
Okay. I mean, that answers. I'm investigating.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to be spending money breaking things. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, it's not like you want to duct tape a Canon M50 to your helmet either. So we all make decisions, and look, I don't think you can argue against this path. I think it's very. We're all looking to push down, and I think there's several different discussions here. Obviously, you start talking about some of your more major videos that you're talking about doing with reviews and this stuff at home in the studio, and then there's that type of a recording, done, and then there's the issue of going into the city and doing things or whatever. There's that type of vlogging, and then you get into this idea of this action, this on bikes and zip lines. I mean.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I know where I want to use these things already. You know what I mean?
Well, I know. I'm breaking it down for people.
I'm saying like, I definitely know like what you said, it's going to be used for like biking in the city. Mm-hmm. But if I'm going to go like record my son at like that jumpy place, I'm taking the ZV-1. Because it's going to be
Dome or something.
Yeah, whatever. I forget what the name of that place is.
I don't know.
But it's like Sky Zone, right. So if I'm going to Sky Zone, I'm taking the ZV-1. It's small. It's got the good audio already. I don't have to take another mic on top. And I'm going to plug that into the USB power bank. I'm going to film all his kids jumping around and having fun. My son, with that. So yeah, I get it, and that's going to be, and is that a better picture than my EOS R? No, but I'm not going to lug the EOS R in the Sky Zone. You got to use your stuff. I'm not like wealthy, so it's not like I can go and drop a $3,000 setup in there, or someone's going to bang it, or some kid's going to steal it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not worth it.
So you got to like, that's where the ZV-1 is like awesome. Like I'll take that out. I'll take that upstairs. I'll take it out in the street here. And I love how small that thing is. And then honestly, the Canon M50, I can just bring that along, and my son could use the ZV-1. I could use the Canon M50, so he can have fun too if he wanted to with things. So
I'm so like not loving anytime I have to disassemble my camera. I just rather every camera just stay where it is. And I had the money to have just grab and go cameras that are never attached to cables and on tripods, and I just set along the door.
Well, that's the plan. Like with the EOS R, I don't ever want to like unhook everything and just go. But my wife will at times take it because we have family members that want a good picture, and so that might grab that. And that's why I grabbed my 16 millimeter lens on the on the M50, because then I'll get a very good picture with that. You know what I mean? So if she needs to borrow it, I got that one. So what is this here?
Good discussion there.
So this is a new face, Justine Halen. Why don't you YouTubers film and upload in HDR? I don't know. You have to ask the bigger guys why they don't. I don't know.
I think there's there's probably a lot of reasons. First of all, I guess it just depends, but are you getting, there's editing and processing. If you're doing a lot of stuff, do you really want to cue down?
Plus, is YouTube letting you have the full effect?
Right. I'm just saying, you're gonna go through all that effort for people to watch it.
There's no need
on a phone. I just don't think they I don't think people are seeing the bang for the buck for that. I guess that's the thing, for the amount of time of getting in and processing, and then at the end of the day going, what's the point? And then I got to upload this file that's going to be squished down probably. Yeah.
It's the same reason why a lot of big YouTubers don't film in 4K. It's just like some people do, but it just like, it's not probably worth it at this point.
What you upload? You upload in 1080, don't you?
1080, and then sometimes I upscale the 4K just because you can get a little bit of a better look, but it's not, it's not that big of a deal because my files are all 1080. All I'm doing is going to DaVinci, send it up at 4K.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when we're going to get to, people's bandwidth is better and all this, but it's funny because as we speed up bandwidth, which you go, then 4K is even more of an option.
Yeah.
Then more and more people are watching things on smaller devices. So at some point you can watch 720, and I'm not saying you don't see the value of 1080 or 4K at a phone. You do, but do you really see enough of it to care?
I don't know, because it's just like some of the newer cameras have, especially the Sonys. To be honest with you, it depends which camera, because I've seen a lot of videos where the dynamic range isn't so great in some expensive cameras even. So I just don't know that it means that much. Like if for the purpose of getting their content across, I don't think it's really going to make a difference either way at that point. At some point, it will be like a common thing, just like, we didn't have it. It wasn't a common issue to film in 1080p, and then it becomes that. And then it becomes 4K, maybe 5 more years from now, where everybody's doing it. And then maybe everyone's going to be, filming HDR, and that means a lot. So it all goes with the progression, and it's just, it's a little early for that to be happening.
I think it's just early. They'll get to it, but I think there's this thing that people really think, why aren't people doing 4K on YouTube? I'm like, there's no benefit. I don't think there's really any benefit to it at the moment.
No,
to put that kind of effort and time into it. And of course, a lot of the equipment that people are using still isn't even using 4K.
Right. And then you're editing in 4K, and you're storing in 4K. So that means your storage, everything has to go and equate to that also.
Yeah.
So for a small YouTuber, maybe not. Maybe for a top end YouTuber, they can afford all that stuff and it makes sense to them because they could buy all the high end audio equipment and the computers and the PCs and all that stuff.
They can have
Because
people babysit it too.
yeah, and right, and because then down the road for them, they would rather probably have that 4K video 5 years from now.
Oh, but I mean, augmenting a product at the right stage of your development, fine, that makes sense.
Right.
Adding on this, adding staff to do that, and adding more storage or adding whatever. I mean, that's the part of the progression section. Whatever. I think as now we have more and more content creators, you're going to see more and more people push further down the road. Then you will start to see more people get to that point in the development process where it tips over. And then you see it all the time.
Quick releases are always good. It just anything that makes your life more a little faster and everything is just, what's like a huge plus for me. I'm going to go and say this now, and I'm not even going to remember the name of them. They're the stupid little things. Instead of having that camera strap that you have to mess with the normal camel strap, camera strap, it has to go through that thing and stuff. It's like these little clip-ons that they sell, and you can pop that camera strap on and off. And I have it up. I have them. Maybe I don't right now, but they're so useful, and they're like $20, and you can throw the camera strap on in seconds instead of having to deal with that strap. Like things like that, little things like that, just always make your life so much easier.
Yeah, I think anything that
there he goes. This is why I love him. Even though when he fights me on stuff, it's like he knows exactly. Yep, the Peak Design thingies are a blessing. They really are.
Yeah, those are the things that really just make life better.
So backing up a little bit though, Brian says here too is that I'm not going to knock, and neither will I if they want to do 4K or 8K.
I think it's great if you can do it.
Go for it, right?
Go for it, right?
Yeah.
If it works for you, if there's a reason to do it, go for there's no bad reason to go for it.
No.
It's just your situation. If you want to spend that extra time in overhead and hard drive space and you feel that's worth it.
It's just that you're lucky to have a camera that can last more than 15 minutes in 4K without overheating right now. So, so like, I mean, it's a little too soon. I mean, these cameras some of them can do 8K, but for like 5 minutes, it's like, who's going to want to deal with that? Nobody at this point, because everybody's like,
and you're getting to the point now where people are just like, screw it, I'm just going to use my phone. So I like this. This is so true, though. And much less 16:9. I was happy to get him to shoot it in landscape.
Everything should be 16:9. But,
it's life.
But, I don't know. So there's no one, I guess there's no more else lurking or anything. And so I don't have any questions coming in or anything. I got 2 subscribers, I guess, tonight for that most.
Good on you, man.
But I think one was my wife kidding with me, or was she really?
I don't know if she might have had an account lurking. She just wanted to.
She wanted to try it out, just a
little heart.
Yeah. You know what's really cool is because I have OBS Studio with Streamlabs built into it, I can go in and check and see. Oh. It was her. And the other person,
there you go.
And the other person was Brian Paul.
Here you are, just making his life miserable.
I did have someone new last night, though. DJ Casey and Lady G.
There you go.
Wow.
DJ Casey.
That was 12 hours ago. Oh, today sometime.
No, you don't pay attention.
Oh, that's really cool.
But you can't sit on here and look at your subscribers all night.
No, I'm just saying. I was like, if I go full screen, which I can never do, right? Because
you got to go on the left. You got to put me
I don't know how to do it. So here they are, right? This is my latest subscribers. This is I don't know. I guess Brian has a second one. He wanted to see that little thing come up, so thank you. I appreciate that. But then we got this DJ KC and Lady G, Thomas Leonard, Linda Portelli, I went to high school with, and I know a couple of these. This is a lady at work, actually, Trish. So I think all these latest subscribers, they really helped me out with pushing things and making me a little bit better each day.
There you go.
Because they're my peeps.
Yeah. No, it's good. I gotta lean into my peeps at some point and say, hey, throw this little channel some love.
Is he in the field right now?
Yeah, he's in the cornfield.
We'll bring you snacks.
Snacks. What did
You
bring, a
always
pretzel?
need snacks in the field,
You
Brian.
always need the snacks.
Snacks in the field are plus.
I wonder what his
Ah.
snack in the field. I wonder what he. Do you think his M&Ms?
M&Ms are great. I like
it.
Reese's Pieces though.
I don't. I used to as a kid, but now they're too much.
They're too much.
Do you like the peanuts M&Ms?
Yes.
Better? Me too.
Love those.
I have to have that extra crunch inside.
Yeah, but do you like Reese's peanut butter cups?
I do.
I love those too.
But I don't like the Reese's Pieces anymore. I used to, but I don't.
I'll take the Reese's peanut butter cups, and the peanut M&Ms are two of my favorites. Which I'm not a sweet tooth though.
No, but here's what I'll say to you though: put those cups in the freezer and eat them. It's amazing.
I like to
refrigerator.
Yeah, I like that too.
I just love that crunch of that.
There you go. The refrigerator is me. I like the refrigerator because I don't like them too hard. I still want the softness, but when they have that like consistency where they're cold.
But it's interesting because the body in the middle doesn't really freeze in the freezer. I noticed.
What do you guys like out there? What's like, is Snickers like your I'm not a really sweet tooth, but if you're a sweet tooth and you're out there, what is your favorite go-to?
I'm going to be honest with you. Snickers. I'm a big fan of Snickers. Like if I'm hungry, like if I'm like on the road, I'm like, God, I'm hungry. All I got is candy.
Snickers satisfy.
That's what the ad says. But
that's what I'm saying.
You're an ad. I really like. You're a big old ad.
Such a jerk, aren't I?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, we have the same candy taste. We could probably survive in a dorm.
Oh God, I'm not a sweet tooth though, because I'm always the guy that likes the meat and potatoes.
Good night, Lala. Thanks for stepping in.
Lala, thank you.
Lovely
Absolutely. Always nice seeing you.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about candy. Imagine we can get like 20 people on here. I was watching a stream and they were talking. This was a great conversation, the stream I was watching today. So I was watching Tom Buck, right? And Heather, and they were talking today, and they were talking about a topic that you and I have talked about before, which is, do you need to have like a topic to talk about in your live stream, okay, to really have a decent live stream? And they were she says she's overthinking it all the time.
The live stream subject?
Yeah. And so that was us. We remember we sat down that one week and we're like, dude, we got to stop this.
We were obsessing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking myself crazy.
Ridiculous.
I'm like, I got to have
this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
What?
DR.
India.
Watching from India. Oh, in Mangalore, Karnataka. Karnataka, is that right?
I'm sure you butchered that.
I'm sure I made a mistake on that, but thank you for so much. I love that when people just pop in and say hi in our stream. That's wonderful. It lets us know that
got the plane. I love the travel.
Yeah.
Makes me want to get in a plane and go. I haven't been anywhere in a while.
If you like anything to do with tech or talking about YouTube or streaming, please subscribe to our channels. My name is John Ryan, and this is J.A. Smith. And we always talk about streaming and a lot of different stuff, but it's always basically talking about, YouTube and relating back to streaming. And but we do talk about all kinds of stuff, productivity. We talk about our love of family. We talk about the fun things we like to do. We like to talk about our community, right?
Yeah, and tonight we even got into talking about
our goddamn show.
We are a show of shows, and I'm a side man. I'm a sidekick. I'm Andy.
No, well, today you are, but I'm your sidekick on Tuesdays at 9:00.
I know. I like it. I like that we swap back and forth. I take a lot of pleasure on the Thursday ones because I can just come in here and sidle in.
And chill out. I feel the same way on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then you could just like you can man up and whatever, do what you got to do. And then you got
you deal with chat. You deal with chat. I'm just gonna sit here and talk and look around, talk. It's very calming. I enjoy Thursday nights.
And then I'm the 265-pound guy on the sideline. Just having fun. You want to have fun? You want to have fun?
Yeah, we're just big dummy old stream buddies. That's the other thing that we need to tell DR is that we're codename stream buddies. And John hates that.
I don't hate it anymore.
I know you don't hate it.
It's just it just sounds a little weird. Brian loves it.
I know, because Brian's got taste.
Brian's got taste.
Going wonky tonight, and I don't know why. I think I know why now. That light
Why?
behind me,
Yeah, it's always the lights that they love to take over. That's
that
the
one's
problem.
grabbing, and because I don't normally sit like that, and also I think it got moved a little bit. I'm going to check that out. That's not.
So, did we talk enough tonight? I feel like we did.
Yeah, I think we did, and we'll work
Yeah.
on our Stream Buddy t-shirts and stuff. When we can.
Are you really going to do that?
I think so.
It's not a bad idea.
No, I think it's great. I think to be playful with the idea of a community that are buddies and it's inclusive and that's it's just a vibe of everybody helping each other out and kind of getting over the obstacle. I kind of like that idea.
So, are you going to have like stream buddies and then have like the male symbol and the female symbol?
No, that's I wasn't going in that direction. I was thinking you're such a I was thinking maybe, it could be like stream is water. So you could think of like a life preserver, but somehow turn that into something related to also streaming. So I'm going to have to get somebody who is more into creative, like your buddy. They can take these worlds and merge them into something. So I've got some ideas. And
I mean,
Brian,
you know what though? I think if you just go with the concept stream buddies and you make it look cool,
yeah, exactly.
it's just whatever,
No, that's what I mean. I mean, I don't want to overdo the idea of it,
Right.
and I want it to be kind of minimalistic. But I mean, I'm just saying, maybe I can. It's very similar to the idea of taking a microphone and throwing it on top of a letter. I'm just talking about somewhere you can kind of get an allusion to something.
I tell you what.
Oh, and
Whoa!
I bet that was DR.
I have another subscriber.
That's fantastic.
Who is this?
I love that little heart. I bet it's DR.
Do you?
I do. I'm gonna put money on it.
DR.
I told you, Ghostbusters.
Wow. DR, thank you for
That's
subscribing. I really appreciate that. This is DR from India. Thank you for checking this out, and go check Jeff's channel. His link is in my description if you didn't ever see it. So I appreciate that. We're gonna go check out his channel. If he's got a channel, I want to go check him out.
Oh yeah.
But that's
check out my link. Come say hi.
I
I
tell
don't
you
have
what.
a lovely heart thing yet to come up, but I'll have to do that.
Isn't it cool that we got people stopping in from India and UK and
Yeah, I do think that's very cool. And then we got Brian sitting here in the middle, which I love because his questions are awesome. And then we're talking about he's like, it's not me this time.
right?
He's like, you know what? Enough with my Gmail, my Google. I got enough accounts. I don't need any more to make sure.
But I think it's like
I'm sorry. I want to read Brian's idea here.
oh, where's
Talking about Ghostbusters crossing the stream. So he's saying with a gold microphone instead of a ghost. Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like something in that idea, like something where we can that's a different type of stream. That's actually a very good idea because it's electronic as opposed to water, which they don't go together. So I was, that would be a good idea. Yeah, you got me thinking, Brian. We may have to talk.
You know what I was thinking too? I was like, I should talk to my friend Chris. Like, I should talk to him and just say, like, you should really put yourself out there for these content creators and see if you could do some logo work for them.
You should. There's a lot of people that are moving that were into story writing and things for branding for companies who have opened themselves up to consulting and doing work for YouTube creators now.
I'm just thinking because it would be like if it would be easy money for him in a sense, like
yeah.
And because imagine if you got a flood of people coming in to work on logos.
Absolutely.
Or maybe it's too small jobs. I don't know.
I was laughing because Brian said all the way from Indiana. I'm thinking, God, India is part of Indiana. Like it's amazing. I don't know.
All the way from India. Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, kind of like you, Brian, I have been trying to pull Chris's teeth with getting started because he's got a Canon M50. I mean, he's got a Canon 80D. And he knows photography, and his actual place where he lives, we've done StreamYard together and discussed things, and his picture looks great and his backdrop looks awesome. It's and it's something maybe down the road I'd like to get him in here too and have a discussion. Maybe we'll do something like a Brian Paul, Chris McCormick night.
Bringing guys who are
have a background
in background in art.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're a little bit different, but yet same. You know what I'm saying? They,
Yeah. Well, maybe we could
they have
do.
the eye.
Maybe we can have a meeting in StreamYard, and then we could discuss about how we can approach this together with all of them,
Mhm.
and then we come up with like a little some ideas, and then we just have some fun talking because
We'll
we got a
promote it,
lot of
have
years,
people.
a lot
A lot
of
of people
years
like-
right here.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would really like that kind of stream, that kind of conversation. You should.
So
do that.
Inspirational Cash said, "Hey John, can you do a video on the icon for the new subs?" That wouldn't be a bad idea to do, but just in case you want to know for yourself right now, it's going to be how to set up alerts in Stream Elements. So keep that in tact, and you'll be able to do that in a very fast amount of time. So it's how to set up sub alerts, or you can set up various alerts in there and in Stream Elements. So check it out. I think you'll love it. It's a nifty little thing. I've had it for 9 months, but I just haven't really addressed it in any way. And because, believe it or not, some things you just start diving into, and then other things take you away on a ride for a little bit until you can come back to it.
That's true.
So you'll have less trolling in the comments. That's true. If we have him on, right? And Chris. So
You're the good trolling. I wouldn't even call it trolling though.
no, it's not trolling.
It's, I mean, you add so much to the discussion all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. And that's the value. I don't think people can appreciate the value of that, but it'd be worth it to have you, discuss the things that you know.
I love it because then, a lot of times I don't ever mind when someone disagrees with me, right? So then I'll, like, if I throw it out and then he's like, well, you could do this and this, and I get you, but then this and this, it kind of feels like at some point a lot of good topics are being brought up for the people watching.
Yeah, it brings counterpoints. Always bring out some. Right. First of all, it brings out energy, but it brings out options, and it brings out different perspectives of things. Right. And that's kind of what happened tonight. We started getting into that. Now we started having discussions about ND filters. Yeah, Brian. And these are just wonderful angles.
Never mind me. I'm sarcastic, son of a.
No, you're an ass.
So, and plus, like, I don't know if you guys noticed this. I could just look angry a lot. I don't know if you guys.
Do you think that's like because you drew on your eyebrows, like on Jerry Seinfeld, where the guy drew on his eyebrows when they burned off, and then every time because they drew it on.
I remember that.
This one.
Yeah,
so it was the older guy, the uncle or whatever. And they're like, "Why are you so angry?"
Yeah, I'm not angry.
The doctor's like,
"My eyebrows, they burnt off."
Like, what are you writing down?
Yeah, I just, I have gotten that where, like, if people don't talk to me or if they see me walking by, it's like I have this intimidating, like, I want to beat up some kind of face sometimes. And it's not really like that. So don't mind me.
What does my face look like when
You always look like
I look
calm and collect. Yeah. And then you like get off the stream and you rip your whole studio apart and then you have to put it together the next day.
Yeah, that's me. You guys,
you're calm and collect in front of the camera, and then you're
yeah, I'm a fraud. I'm basically a fraud. I'm an emotional mess. So I get off of here, and just stuff is going to get tossed tonight, especially. George is spot on. That's
George is great, man. I love one of my favorite ones is the Festivus. Festivus is for the rest of us. Oh, I love it, man. Shrinkage, right?
Father was so great.
Man. Oh, that's another good one. Yeah, the Soup Nazi was freaking great.
He's an interesting character. Yeah,
that was a great show. But I just, I just think that.
We'll get John on. I think your buddy. I think these are really good.
Brian.
I'm sorry.
Get Brian. You're tired. You ran today, so you're tired.
I run almost every day, though.
Do you really?
Yeah.
How far you run?
I'd say 3 miles. 3. It depends. I maxed up. I stopped for a couple of years for a variety of reasons. One was injury, and then COVID. I didn't really run, so I've started back up about 5 months ago. And then cold was not fun.
Yeah.
So I was doing it sporadic, but now I'm doing it pretty much every day. I average 3 miles. That's usually I stick at. I don't really need to go past that. Some days, if I'm feeling good, I'm like, I'll do a 4 or 5 just to do it. But there's no need.
That 3 miles probably takes you about 33 minutes.
I can do it in 29, 30, depending on.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're going at a 30,
Yeah.
30, 33. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's a long enough amount to get us some good cardio in
Yeah.
and get your heart rate to a certain point, but not overly doing it where you're going to cause injury with ankle, knee injuries, anything like that.
Yeah, I just don't. There's no need in that. These
No.
guys, they want to do marathons. Great. That's not me. I'm not
No.
out to do it. And I'll be honest with you. Most of the reason I do it is not about even weight. It's a mental thing. It helps my serotonin. It gets me in the right frame of mind. Someone who deals with anxiety. I never ran a day in my life until after I had anxiety attacks. And for me, it's the best way for me to kind of just center myself.
Sorry.
And, that's fine.
The mental thing is one aspect, but also you're hitting the perfect amount of time frame about to be able to get the good heart effect. So as long as you're in the heart in the zone that you need to be,
Yeah, and you're in the right. I know exactly. Yeah, the heart zone.
Yeah.
I have I use the watch to try to gauge my speed and just keep myself in a certain zone. And 30 minutes is enough for me anyway.
Yeah. I agree with you. I got to start doing something. I'll tell you that, because
it was hard to start up again. I really was like, oh God, I can't do this. And then I just stuck with it. And like anything, if you stick with it, then it becomes habit and you go, oh, I can do this.
Right.
But I
think it's going to improve everything also with like we talk about Notion, just taking care of your fitness also helps your productivity. Once again, this is not magic. These are rules that like very successful people follow.
Yeah.
And it's productivity and it's taking care of yourself first and other things. And it's being able to cope with everything together to have success. Otherwise, everything, if it's not balanced to a certain point, it overruns everything. Yeah,
it's a very delicate ecosystem, and you do want to have a good balance. And it takes discipline to do that. It's not easy. And, in the days that you don't have it, just accept it and try to find something that you can do positive. I had a day like that yesterday, and I just couldn't seem to there was no trigger. It was just, I was having a day. And what I realized is I'll keep working at my pace. That will help, even though it was frustrating. And then do some good things for other people. Like my wife was like, oh, this or that. And she's like, I would clean the house. And I'm like, you know what? I'll clean. I don't love cleaning, but it make you happy today. I'm going to clean. And that made me feel better because she felt lifted that somebody did the cleaning and did some stuff to kind of change the environment or whatever. So I think that, you go do something good for somebody else that can really make you feel better too.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. My wife does a ton. And, when it comes to holding the glue of the family together, and I could always help more. So it's, like we have our different levels of where we help, which is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it comes, like, when it comes to making some good decisions with some other stuff, I'm very good at that. But then as far as holding things together, like that are really important, she's the nucleus of that. So
yeah, I feel that way too. But you're so right, man. There's such a balance you need to really get yourself in the right frame of mind. And this is a kind of an easy thing to go, I'm tired or frustrated or not, I'm feeling good, so I don't really want to work on a craft.
Right.
And then you walk away from it. And so it's very easy to you got to be in the right frame of mind. Well, it's very hard to be in the right frame of mind often in today's world. So if you eat well as you can and you kind of move around a little bit and give yourself a good chance, you might be able to.
Well, it's just, also just starting as a content creator, this is time consuming and it's a lot of work.
It's so time and it's scary because you don't really know what the road is paved. And I like that on some level. And I've talked about how I'm into wanderlust and I like, wonderment and the joy of journeys. I'm into that. But still there is, when you don't really know what the blueprint is, and this is such a wonky one, that it can be a little bit stressful. Not knowing what you're doing and worrying about all the tech. It's so much stuff going on, man. So that makes it hard. I mean, but
the people here, really, like when you have like some of these people come in and support you and we're talking and new people are showing up or other people are, just always backing you with great stuff. It really that's what really helps me a lot, get through. Whereas
Oh yeah, just getting that sub or just getting someone to pop in and say hi or
just the
say, hey,
people, like the comments,
yeah,
like
right, right.
we had the guy earlier, and he popped in earlier tonight and was talking about the Canon M50, and he's a new guy who stopped
Oh,
in.
the guy that you are or something,
Yeah,
James.
up.
You are
Right.
up, James.
And he found me and left me like a nice comment, and then like when I read that, I was like, I always just say thanks for so much for like taking the time to leave a comment on my video, because
Yeah.
they really, people do not have, like, do you realize that's a real person that watched your video and took the time to stop and, like, you imagine your busy day, and just like send a little note out. And to
Yeah.
me, it's like, no one has to do that.
No, and a lot of people don't. Yeah, it's nice. It's beyond nice. It's just I don't know. That's a
It's
kick in the pants and it makes you feel good. And
makes
I
the
never take
difference.
any of that for granted. And
No.
we'll see. And then, I finished a script for this trailer today, which I think maybe that's why I was down a little bit yesterday, because that's not an easy thing to do.
Okay.
Because the reason that's difficult is it, I think I'm struggling with my vision, even though I'm closed in and I was having a hard time getting the words. And then you push through it and you crack through and you're like, I got it. I see where my vision is. And I see where I get my voice more now. I get where I stand on everything. And that's, I don't know. I'm a person who has a hard time really going all forward and 100% if I don't have some clarity in my mind of what my voice is and what I'm thinking moving forward.
I
I don't,
understand you, but just
yeah,
don't kill yourself over it, because just remember that vision can change too.
it is. Yeah, that's the thing. No, I get the flexibility and the fluidity of it. I do. And not to kill yourself over it. I
Because I know
didn't
we
intend
had this
to.
conversation
Well, we did.
already,
We
and
did.
I just was kind of explaining to you, like, and I made the comment to you this week that I, in my banner, right, how I added for, YouTubers and streamers.
Yeah.
And
So
that was like a revision for me.
Yep.
And you noticed it. And it took 10 months, so
yeah, I think, that's a great example of, that's a good lesson learned. And it's funny because I don't have a lot of words in this trailer. It's a very small 1 minute thing. But for some reason I stood back and went, what are you doing? Like, what are you saying here? Like this, I don't know why. There's a section that for whatever reasons I got stuck on, and but the good news is you push through and you get clarity and then you feel good about it. And then you're like, okay.
I mean, I think it's brilliant that you take the time, but just don't take so much time that it overwhelms you. But like for you, I think taking the time to do it, because you're making that, I know how you think, and it's like, here's my chance, right, to make a connection with somebody. And so I want to really know how I feel, because if I really can feel how I feel about this, it gets my point across and makes a bigger impact on who's reading it.
Or who's hearing it, because you're going to hear that in the video. And if I'm saying in an authentic voice and I'm saying something that really is coming from here more, then I think that comes across. And will it matter long-term? No. And I think because
it matters to you for that person. It matters to
me, and it's a trailer. So it's not, a one-off video, I don't really care. Right. And the truth is, it's not, the timing's fine. I've got something that's going to get here tomorrow that will allow me finally start shooting a stupid thing that I've been waiting on. So the timing worked out really well.
Good.
And but yeah, I feel pretty good about that. And I don't know. I mean, there's really not, I'm not over really thinking it. It's just, I had time to think because I was waiting on something, but at the end of the day, I'll be glad to start just moving forward and not sitting into this world. I think I just want to be shooting videos. I don't want to be screwing around.
Yeah. You're ready.
Yeah, I know.
You're ready.
So yeah, I've got something that I needed that I was supposed to be here Tuesday and it's getting here, but it's okay. We use that. Tomorrow's an off day, so I can kind of take more time and do what I need to do. And I'm looking at the area where I'm going to be messing around with, and I'm ready to go. So
awesome.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell us what's coming, huh?
You mean for next Tuesday? You mean, or the trailer, or in general?
Well, you're waiting on something you said.
Oh, it's just something I needed for presenting myself in this. It's not really a huge deal, but it's something I needed to pull off.
Yep.
I don't want to shoot my trailer sitting here. That was
Are
just
you-
me. I don't know why. Just
Okay.
I
So
didn't
it's
want
not a whatchamacallit.
it's not a camera. No. It's
No,
not a
to
camera.
read.
Oh, the teleprompter? No. I have a teleprompter on my phone and my tablet if I want to use it. I can use that. I don't care.
Gotcha.
I don't think I'm going to need much of a teleprompter. This is a very short video that I'm doing. I don't want to make this trailer into some cinematic masterpiece.
If you do, maybe you get 1 million views. I don't know.
I don't think people are going to really care about a trailer too much. I think, though, the trailer for me sets me off on.
Eminem grew up in a trailer.
Is that right? Is it mobile?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to use the trailer as an editing thing. Everything's set to go. I just, I don't know. I don't want to over prepare, and I would tell somebody not to over prepare. But again, for me, I took a long time to set up a second area. It's not as easy as you think it would be because of the complication of cameras and recording and lighting and whatever. It probably wasn't, and it's a B-roll area. But you know what? I want to be able to shoot B-roll and stuff, and so I went with it. I told you about the GVM 800Ds, and that's part of this package. So we'll see.
Rocky Balboa, he fought for the championship.
Did he? Yeah.
You only get one shot. Come on, Rocky. So I didn't finish my whole concept that I was trying to explain to you about how we talked about content, and Heather and Tom Buck were talking about what we talked about a couple of weeks prior.
Oh, yeah, right.
And the whole point and I made a comment in the stream just saying, you don't always need a topic if the people are engaging.
Right. It's true.
I mean, I watch some streams and I sit there with my mouth open and I'm like,
what's happening? Yeah.
There's 50 or 600 people watching this.
Yeah.
It's like always surprises me is like this guy at the RV. I love his videos. Right. And, but he has 600 to 700, 800 people watching his live streams.
He must be solving the world's problems.
He is amazing. Like his videos are great. Mm-hmm. And when I went up to Maine, I stumbled on his video and I subscribed to his, YouTube channel, and it was awesome, but it was just hilarious. I watched his first live stream about 3 months ago, and I was like, my jaw dropped. Like, there's 800 people watching this guy.
Can you imagine? Jesus.
So it is amazing that what people will watch. And but that's the thing, like he's engaging. He's like he'll get the guitar out, he'll play a song, he's got
a guitar.
He's got a great Cuban accent, and it's like, no. And so he's engaging. And so like sometimes he doesn't need to have like that's the whole thing. Like we overthink it sometimes what people consider engaging. And sometimes we think like, hey, we may not be engaging, but I think maybe we are.
I've watched enough stuff to feel pretty good about where we're at in this moment. And I enjoy myself. So I mean that's a big thing. And if I'm enjoying myself, if I'm enjoying myself, I think we're doing okay. And I enjoy our dialogue and our laughing and the people like Brian and those guys who come in and mix it up with us. And so obviously our goal here is to grab more eyes and have even more engagement and bring that in. I mean, that's obviously a goal, but I mean, we're not going to force it.
Well, we're not going to have an hour talk after tonight.
No,
we're going to go right to bed. This is good because we kind of included it a little bit.
This is a little bit of our post. Post show. We got Brian in the side. I don't know what Brian's doing. I have no idea.
He's probably falling asleep because we're engaging.
But I mean, this poor guy.
It's midnight. We got to go.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like we do talk about this kind of stuff. So now we don't have to have that talk.
Now we can sidestep it tonight.
We could sidestep it, and then I'll get in touch with you.
Yeah.
We'll talk tomorrow. So let's get out of here, right?
Yes, sir. Sounds like a plan.
I don't have to get rid of you, so I'm just going to say good night, and I'm going to hit the end broadcast. I want to thank everybody for coming in here, and for the people that just stopped in and said hi, and for Brian Paul for talking about shrinkage.
And orangutans. Brian's going to get a free Stream Buddy shirt when that happens. So, I mean, come on, this guy.
Stream Buddy.
The way he's held through. He's like the Stream Buddy ambassador. He may have to get a special Like,
Loves
sure.
orangutans, this guy.
Oh, check out his video.
Check out his video, bro. Orangutans.
I'm telling you, it's #1 video.
It's got a lot of views.
Yep, it does.
All right. My mom's here. Good night.
So. Night, Marlene. Thank you so much.
Have a good
I
night.
can't believe you're still awake either. Jesus.
And
Love it.
let's wrap it up, bro. So have a good night, everybody.
Yeah.
I'll see you on next week's video. Don't forget to go check out J.A. Smith's YouTube page. Go to my description, take a look, hit the link, go to his page, check him out. Maybe subscribe to him, maybe
If they get
subscribe
100
to me.
people, I get my own little channel link.
That's it. How you doing? All right. Have a good night, people. Bye.
Good night. Thanks, guys.